Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Modern Day Debate. I'm your host, Ryan. We're going to be starting our debate right now, flat versus globe. And to get us started, we have Kevin, first time out here. So, Kevin, welcome to Modern Day Debate, and the floor is all yours.
Yes, I'm a cue baller, Kevin John from Montreal. And just to put you in context, why we're going to talk about the laser levels and the ice rink is because there's a history with McToon and his British clone, Craig McNeil. The conversation started with Craig in private. I had this idea in my head, I don't know why I didn't think about it before, because I had this idea only in 2023, and I'm a flat earther since 2016, and I'm a big hockey fan. And I had this idea, like it's a good way to picture our world, our flat world, because the physics of water, you put the water in ice rink, and it levels. It becomes flat, even though the globers like to say that level means curve. When the water level itself in the ice rink, when it's at the water form, still it's not froze yet. It's liquid and it's level, and then when it freezes, it's easy to measure. So I went to several ice rink. I bought some laser levels. I went to some ice rinks. I asked some question to the people there. I've learned about the lasers and bunny, which was surfacing and leveling the ice. I went to take measurement. And when I went to debate live against Toon and Craig McNeil, because Craig McNeil was saying that the ice rink went flat, but not because of the curve of the Earth, which they weren't flat. The curve of the Earth was there, but not measurable. But that was not what he was saying. He was saying that the ice rinks were not flat because of the drainage system. There was some kind of curve at the edge to drain the water out. That was Craig's claim. So I was saying, oh, that's ridiculous. Do you want to debate me about this? And he said, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So I wanted to debate only in French back then. I wanted to retire in English, because sometimes I don't understand what's going on. I'm not very good in English when I'm on the spot like that. But because Craig was saying such a stupid thing, I went out of my retirement of debating and I brought Toon with me in the debate. I said, do you agree with that statement from Craig, which is the ice rinks are curved due to some drainage system at the edge? And McToon said, oh, yeah, I agree with that stupid statement. They didn't say stupid. I added because,
Just
okay,
going to cut in right
so
quick. I'm so sorry, Kevin. If we can try to just focus, I'll just pause the timer for a few seconds. Just focus on the arguments that either you were
some
presenting at
drainage
that
system.
time or continue into arguments for the flat Earth, because it does seem like you're doing like a debate analysis of another
Yeah,
situation, and that's okay to
I
have
put
that
people
conversation.
in context. I'm going somewhere, and I asked not to be interrupted.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
And
Well, I'll continue the timer, and we'll let that carry on. No, so
okay,
sorry about that.
thank you. So I was like, so I brought to debate. But I made sure he agreed with Craig's statement, which was the ice were curved due to some drainage system at the edge. So he came debating with me, and so I presented. At some point in the debate, they said that they were conceding the victory if I was presenting some measurement, and I had some measurement. The moderator was Jaren, and he knew I had some measurement. I had shown him to it, but I was keeping them for the end. I was trying to make them say, I will concede if you bring some measurement. And Craig said that at the end. So I put out the measurement, and they said the level wasn't the right tool to measure the level. So I was like, like the meme with all the calculation passing through, the level is not the right tool to measure the level. So I keep researching, and I went to interview. It's all on camera, all on my channel YouTube. You can see my research. I went to university, talked to engineer. All what they were saying was ridiculous. The globers. It was a consensus from engineers, construction workers. But okay, how much time I have left?
You still have 5 minutes on the floor, but I would
I
I
have
would want to
five
stress
minutes. Oh,
I would
I
want to
have
stress, like I
plenty.
say, if we can get straight into like I say, presenting a case for the flat Earth or debunking
No, no, no.
presentations
I
for the
want to
globe.
continue the
I,
context of the.
well, like I said, we're not too interested in doing just a debate analysis here on screen. We want to actually get into the substance of the debate. If you guys have your own personal
Okay, the
conversations
substance
elsewhere,
is
you guys can,
the
like I say, do that
substance.
in your own
It's
space.
the consensus from everyone. A laser level. It's a good tool to make. It's the tool to measure the level. Okay, but according to tool and Craig McNeil and their follower, the level isn't the right tool. So I bought another level since then, a better one, because this was the level I was using to measure the ice. It was efficient. Like I put it on you can all see that on my YouTube channel. It's all there for all to see. I got 18 subscribers. No one go see that, but it's all public. All my research are public, but people ignore them, and they call me like a base in mommy's basement. You're in mommy's basement, but I do my research. I go places. I talk to people. It's all on YouTube, all with my GoPro, or with my phone, or with my P900. It's all on my YouTube channel with my 18 subscriber. No one ever see that. So you know what I'm saying? And McToon is always in front of his computer. He's in mommy's basement for real. He doesn't do any research. He can't debate like one-on-one with me. He has to have his computer. You notice how many times he's going to share screen. Oh, look, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. When I was debating about him, about the ice rink, I brought the lasers and bunnies, because in my interview on camera with a staff of the arena, he brought up the lasers and bunny. And as an old-time hockey fan, I never heard of it. And McToon went to get it on Google, and he talked about the lasers and bunny like he knew about it. He had no clue. What you show me a lasers and bunny surfacing the ice on the internet, and you think you own me on that argument of the lasers and bunny, which a laser makes a laser the good tool to measure the level. They say that the laser curve, that makes no sense. When you build a building, okay, like any building in the world, you can use this tool, which is a laser level, to put the floor flat. It's not going to follow some curvature, which you can tell. It's going to make the floor flat, and you can go forever. If your building goes forever, you can go forever flat level. It's going to be flat. It's not going to follow some curvature okay, and that's it for the laser level. It's a perfect tool, because this is to measure flat, because this measure 50 feet long. Okay, so if you go 25 feet, 25 feet, 25 feet, uh, I don't know the word. That's why I don't debate in English, is because I don't like to debate in English, because I search for my words. But you know what I'm saying? Just to um, minimize the mistake. You don't go like 50, 50, 50. You just go 25, 25, and you can go forever, and it's going to be flat. I don't know how they figure that a level is not the right tool to measure the level. It The name is actually level. Like it's insane. And their subscribers say that I lose the debate and that I stay in mom's basement, even though all my research are right there for everyone to see. I talk to people, go places, take measurement, do science, and all kinds of things of my everything is there. But Antoon is in front of his computer, and oh no, look, he posts links from people that he doesn't even know, and they say, "Oh, you won the debate? Yeah, he has subscriber. This guy's a tool. That's why I call him a tool. It's a perfect name for him." And I'm gonna bury him tonight, because I have a lot to say about him, like a lot.
Okay, we are gonna stop the timer there. We're gonna hand it over to the other floor now. Like I said, we'll stress again that we want to try to stick to the topic and not just prepare for the person that's on screen. It's one thing, like I
Yeah,
say,
that's the
yeah,
topic, okay?
yeah. No, I understand. I just like I say, we want to just try to make sure that we're moving forward with making sure we're presenting those arguments for our audience here tonight. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate it, Kevin. We will definitely unpack some more in the open discussion, and definitely welcome to Modern Day Debate. We are a neutral debate space hosting debates on science, politics, religion. We do hope you feel welcome here. We're debating flat versus globe tonight, and we are going to hand the floor over to MC Toon. So once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that in case you forgot how YouTube works. And Mike, the floor is all yours.
All right, thank you, Ryan. I'm going to share my screen here.
Ah,
Just letting you know.
it's always that. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen.
All right, this is his introduction, so I'm just going to place you on just a brief mute there, Kevin, just so we can get through the intros, and then we'll get into that open discussion. So go ahead there whenever you're ready, MC Toon, and we'll get into it. So you have
All
10
right,
minutes.
well, just for everybody's edification here, this is the conversation between myself, Kevin, and James, where James, the owner of this channel, suggested that the topic be flat versus globe. You'll notice that well, you decide whether or not you think that Kevin, in his allotted 10 minutes, spent any time doing what he agreed to do. All right, so how should we seek to determine the shape of the Earth? Well, we can see what people in the past have said about how to do science. In a series of lectures, Richard Feynman described the key to science.
First, we guess it. Yeah, then we so don't laugh. That's really true. Then we compute the consequences of the guess to see what, if this is right, if this law that we guessed is right, we see what it would imply, and then we compare those computation results to nature, or we say compare to experiment or experience. Compare it directly with observation to see if it works. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. In that simple statement is the key to science.
So that's the essence of science. Of course, it's a bit more involved than that. If you're really interested, I suggest reading Karl Popper, The Logic of Scientific Discovery, specifically chapters 3 and 4 in this book. Fantastic stuff for really understanding how to the essence of an experiment. So anyway, you compute the consequences, then you apply physics and geometry, and you compare to experiment, observation, or experience, and if they don't match, your hypothesis is falsified. But flat earthers fail to do this in two ways. First, they get the globe computations wrong. They never, ever get the actual computations for the globe right. So if you can't do that, then you're not actually testing the globe. So if you'd like to know, I would be happy to provide the computations for the globe, flat earthers. It is my position, so I think I would have a pretty good understanding of that. And you'd think that the people positing a position would be able to compute the consequences for their own position. I can, but on the other hand, flat earthers don't, because by never providing computations for flat Earth, you're unable to compute the consequences for flat Earth. You showed up at the horse race without a horse. You're not able to begin doing science. So flat earthers, if you can't present the computation for flat Earth, you didn't even show up. You're not here. You're not doing science. So as a contrast to the standard flat Earth method, I will use both globe and flat Earth to compute the consequences of each hypothesis and compare them to observations. And for this, I will use the predicted sunset time for a location I was in on February 20th of this year. I was in Richfield, Minnesota. So I used NOAA's SolCalc website to predict the sunset time for the globe. Now, this uses the actual geometry of the globe, applies geometry, optics, and physics to determine what time the sun will set. NOAA provides this spreadsheet. You can look at the formulas in the spreadsheet and verify that they are, in fact, using spherical trigonometry in there to determine what time the sun will set. Up on the screen is the link to that if you want to do it yourself. So I calculated the sunset time for February 20. The globe predicted the sunset time of 5:47 p.m. And I was in Richfield at a restaurant at 5:47 p.m. and took a picture outside. There you go. The sun was setting. Globe confirmed. It matched the prediction for the globe. Now, what is the flat Earth prediction? Well, in order to do that, we need to know a little bit of the geometry of flat Earth. Sometimes it's a little bit different, difficult to find. So first, since we need that, then we can go to different places. Samuel Rowbottom said that the sun was less than 4,000 miles in elevation. Wilbur Valiva claimed 3,000 miles, another flat earther from Zion, Illinois. Alexander Gleason of the map that everybody likes so much, he said in his book that it was 1725 nautical miles, or about 1985 statute miles, so about 2,000 miles. Eric Dubay even gives a value in a video.
Both the sun and moon figure to be only about 32 miles in diameter and approximately 3,000 miles away.
3,000 miles from Eric Dubay. Well, I measured it myself, hypothesizing flat Earth. I live at 45 degrees north latitude. And when I did that, I got 3,105 miles by doing triangulation. So I will start with that number. If you want a different number, if you have a better number, Kevin or any flat earthers, I would be happy to use it. Lacking you giving me an actual number or a way to measure it, I will use the actual application of trigonometry, physics, and optics. So now once you have the height, you need the distance from the observer to the subsolar point across flat Earth. This would be easy to obtain from a real map. However, Gleason's map doesn't have a scale. There are no flat Earth maps with scales. Flat Earthers claim the Earth is flat, but have no stinking clue how big it is. Just go measure stuff. Well, there's no flat Earth cartographers. Anyway, Gleason's map does state that there are 60 nautical miles to the degree, which is completely accurate for lines of latitude. So I can use this and shoehorn latitude and longitude into being a polar coordinate system. If you don't know what that is, it's covered in high school algebra. Typically in the United States, 11th grade, you would get polar coordinates. So then you can apply the polar distance formula to get the distance between any 2 points. And again, flat earthers, I'm computing the consequences of your claims. If you think it's wrong, correct me. Give me the right way. Lacking the right way, this is the right way. The subsolar point of the sun at the position of the Earth is the position on the Earth directly below the sun. It's well known for any moment of the year. At 5:47 p.m. Central Time on February 20th, the subsolar point is 10.8 degrees south, 173.7 degrees east. That's the ocean north of New Zealand. And so we apply the polar distance formula, we get 7,788 miles from Richfield, Minnesota to the subsolar point of the sun. Now we can measure distance and apply perspective. The sun is 3,105 miles high, 7,788 miles across the surface. We just solved the triangle there, and that's how you apply perspective. And we're going to get this angle here. How do we do that? Well, we just saw that triangle. We get 21.7 degrees. So at 5:47 p.m. on February 20, flat Earth requires that the sun be 21.7 degrees in angular elevation. If it's not, well, then what? Flat Earth falsified. That's a requirement. I computed the consequences. You think it's wrong? It's on you to provide the right method. Now we can actually do this in general for the general case where we don't even know the height of the sun or the distance across the surface of the Earth. We can always apply perspective. We can always solve this triangle, and that angle is always positive. This is a necessity for flat Earth. The sun can never set on flat Earth. Yet the sun does set, therefore flat Earth is 100% completely impossible. I have falsified flat Earth. All right. Thank you for that. That's my presentation.
All right, you got it. All right, so I'm going to stop the timer there, and we're going to get into our open discussion. So once again, everybody, if you don't know how things work in Modern Day Debate, we do a super chats at the end. So if you're in our live chat hanging out, you're talking to all your friends there or your frenemies, make sure that you're paying attention to what's happening on screen. And if you want to ask any of these fellas a question, we'll read those questions, those super chats, I should say, at the end of the debate. So once again, hit the like button. Yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping I need to do. We'll talk about podcasts later. Let's get into that open discussion. I'll set 15 minutes on the floor, and I'll hand the floor back to Kevin to respond to some of what you just heard there. Oh, just 1 second there, Kevin. I'll just take you off the mute there. Just where those were the introductions.
Hello.
There you go. We're ready to go. So whenever you're ready, Kevin.
Yes, Tone, you said that Alexander Gleason was a flat earther in your presentation.
Yes.
Okay, it's all I wanted to hear. I can clip it whenever I want now. It's just weird that
I read his book. I read his book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is just weird that the Globers argue that this is not a flat Earth map. This is a projection of the globe.
But I don't argue that. Alexander Gleason.
Well, they give
hold on.
your site.
Hold on. Wait a second. Let me finish my sentence before you jump in there. Alexander Gleason, in front of two witnesses, swore that the map that he used there was an extortion from the globe. That's his literal words that he swore to he swore in front of witnesses that. So you're saying he lied?
Well, yeah, actually, that's the story.
Got a lot of flair.
That's the story
Absolutely.
I got. So no questions asked at the patent. So it's just a projection of the globe. But we know that Alexander Gleason is a flat earther, and this is his flat earth map. He just wanted to have the patent.
Where did Gleason get the map from?
From JS Christopher, the one I tagged you in this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's the projection of the map of
it's a projection.
JS Christopher and the Glober say, look, it's a projection. There's the word projection, so it's a projection of the globe. So Gleason's map by Alexander Gleason, flat earther, it's a projection of the globe, and they give your site as reference. Look, McToon. To be honest, I didn't follow through the link, but when they say that, they give your site as reference. McToon, So that's why I thought you were kind of responsible for that, and that's why I tag you this afternoon in that map of JS Christopher. So what is it? What is your position on that? Is that Alex Gleason flat Earth map?
It's a projection from the globe, as Alexander Gleason swore to in front of witnesses, and was excited enough to put it on the front of his map, nice and big.
You heard the story that he probably lied so he can get the patent easier.
Well, then do you have a source for where he got this? Was there some cartography done to determine this map?
Well,
maybe you have a source for that. Lacking a source, I'm going with the words that he swore to in front of witnesses, where he swore in front of witnesses and said it's an extortion from the globe, and he gave the description of how he did it, or how JS Christopher did it. And in fact, it is identical to the azimuthal equidistant projection from the globe. It's the same map. This is a projection from the globe, and the way that he described it in his patent is exactly how you do it.
Okay, so let me get this straight, Mike. Let me get this straight. So this is a projection of the globe.
Yes.
Produced by Alex Gleason, which is a flat earther.
He didn't produce it.
You've read his book, so you know he's a flat earther.
But he didn't produce it, John. Kevin. It wasn't him that produced it. It was J.S. Christopher that produced it.
It's the Gleason map.
It's really
J.S. Christopher's map.
There you go. J.S. Christopher projected it from the globe. Got it.
Okay, so that is your position. Like this is a
JS...
globe map. This is a globe map by flat earther Alex Gleason.
No.
Which looks like a flat map, but it's a globe map by flat earther.
It wasn't.
Alex Gleason. I say that a lot just so you realize how ridiculous it is.
Kevin.
Hey,
all right, there's a little too much crosstalk. Finish your thought there, Kevin. We'll bounce it back to MC2. There's just a little too much crosstalk there. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, Mike, you realize how ridiculous it sounds? Like your position, and you just admitted that's what it is. This is a globe projection map by flat earther Alex Gleason, which you admit is a flat earther. You've read his book, but this is not a flat earth map. It looks like a flat earth map, but it's patented as a globe projection, so it's not a flat earth map. That's
it doesn't
your
look
position?
like a it doesn't look like a flat earth map. It looks like a
No,
globe
okay.
projection.
Okay.
And,
I understand
again,
what you...
it wasn't, the projection was not done by Gleason. The projection was done by J.S. Christopher.
Okay, but it's a projection of J.S. Christopher by Alex Gleason, flat earther. So, okay, we can. It was just to know your position about that, because the Globers give your site as reference, and it is justified because that's your position. You really think this is a globe map by Alex Gleason.
Well, I mean,
flat earther.
I just falsified that map anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
What? The map does exist.
The
So I
map
want to-
just because the map exists doesn't mean it's a representation
No,
of reality.
no, you're missing the point.
That's your
here.
claim.
No,
And
you're missing the
you
point.
agreed in this debate to your position of providing evidence for flat Earth, which you haven't yet done. All you've done is talk about the globe projection map. And
Yeah, I
meta
just
about
wanted to
it
make a little.
history.
Yeah, we elaborated more than I expected on the Gleason
Got
map.
it. All right, now time for you to bring up your evidence. What do you got? Let's go. Chop chop.
Well, we can continue about the levels, because I made a lot of research, as I stated in my intro. I'm sure you went to look at all my research on my channel YouTube with my 18 subscribers.
Not for 1 second. This is
No,
your
I
chance
know.
to present evidence. This isn't
I
your
know,
chance
I
to
know.
require me to
I
have
know
looked at
you-
your stuff ahead of time.
What, you stayed in front of your computer.
Chop chop,
And,
buddy. Get the evidence. Bring forth
Yeah,
the evidence.
nice drinking cup. Okay, that was a good one. Yeah, for the level, like I was saying, when you build a building, okay, it's distracting me, Mike. Can you put it down, please? He does that
Close your
by
eyes.
purpose.
Close
He
your
does
eyes.
that by purpose. He swore not to interrupt me, so he's gonna distract me with his tab, with his NASA cup. That's what they do. They do wizardry not to let us talk. Now, put it down.
Is there? I was gonna say, is there something about the NASA? Like, do you have like, if you want to make some commentary on NASA, that's okay. But it's
You
okay
know,
to.
you know.
It is
We know,
okay
we
to
all
drink.
know.
It's okay to have a drink during the debate. You can.
USA.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Come on, Ryan.
goodness.
USA.
All right.
Will
So
you
I'm
calm
gonna
yourself?
try not to get distracted by some dish and shit. So when you build a building, okay, you use, okay, this type of tool. I know, because you know what I do for a living. I go from building to building, and I bump into construction sites all the time. And I see those just laying there all day, just so they can have their level. And that's all they build, a floor. And the old building was built with, and some of the building were just built with normal spirit level, but it makes the floor straight, okay? The level, whether it's a spirit level with a bubble or a laser level, it doesn't follow some curvature. Can you agree with that, Michael?
No.
Okay,
This is your chance. This is where you present evidence. So bring forth the evidence.
Well, just
Okay.
for the sake of the conversation, if you would be able to describe maybe where you don't agree with what he just said there, and then we'll carry in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
please.
say you built a building that was a mile long, from one end to the other, you would have a deviation, and you could measure that deviation from flat. It would be curved.
You know that in Montreal, we have the largest underground network. Eh? I can take these measurements with this tool. Okay, a building it's flat. When you go in a building, the floor doesn't follow some curvature of the earth or whatever. If the ground is not perfectly flat, the natural ground, I mean, if it's a mountain, your building is not gonna follow the mountain. When you see a building in the mountain, the building is straight like that. It's not following the mountain. The floor is gonna be straight. And that's the tool to make it straight. Straight, you can say flat, and it's level. That what you're saying here, it's absolutely clownish. That the level, when they build a building, it's gonna follow some curvature. It's not gonna follow. They use a level. It's gonna be as flat as possible. Okay, you can come up with a margin of error, maybe. Oh yeah, maybe it's going to be a little like this or like that, not perfectly flat, but it's not following some curvature. That's what you're saying, that the buildings and the tunnels and whatever, they follow some curvature. If you have a mile-long building or a 2-mile-long building, the floor, it's not perfectly flat. It follows some curvature. That's what you're saying.
Okay, all right. So far, you've asserted multiple times over and over again that the buildings are flat. So bring forth the evidence, bring the measurements of flatness that you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay.
Chop chop.
What? No. The building, the floor are flat.
So you've said many times. You've said
that. If you disagree
bring
with
forth
that,
the measurements.
If you disagree
bring forth
with that,
the measurements.
No. If you disagree with that, bring me some measurement of curved floor.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
You
disagree
Here,
with reality.
Hold on. Let me get my.
That the floor in the buildings.
Where's my
flat.
fallacy? Hold on, I get my fallacy cards. That is called a reversal of burden of proof.
Unbelievable.
There, you made the claim that the floors are flat. You have the burden of evidence to provide the measurements of flatness.
I pointed out the fact that the floors are flat. Everyone
you have claimed
will agree with
over
that.
and over again that they're flat.
Okay,
I am waiting for you to provide evidence for it, Kevin.
You're saying
get the evidence.
You're saying, okay, this is your claim, okay, that when they build a building, they follow some curvature of the earth. That's what you're saying?
Bring forth the measurements, Kevin. You made the claim.
What
you have saying? The burden of proof. Kevin, you have the burden of proof. This is Michael, simple. All right, Kevin, right here. Let me read to you from the Debater's Guide, page 22. Right here. Page 22 of the Debater's Guide. This is a guide to how to do debates. So we have here an easy way to think about reasoning processes in the diagram here. You've got your data, you've got your claim, and you've got your warrant. So you take your claim right there. That's your claim is that earth flat or floor is flat, right? And then you need the data right here. The data, that would be the measurements in this case. And then the warrant would be the description, the logical connection between your claim and the data. Now you have yet to provide the actual data. So go ahead and provide the data so that you can, actually participate in a debate. All you've done is said things. I'm waiting for you to actually produce the evidence backing your claim. So go ahead.
Okay, you're done? Because you look like a fool here. Everyone on Earth, even the Globers, will agree that the buildings do not follow some curvature, Mike. This is your claim that they follow some curvature. You know why? Because they use a level, then the level makes the floor flat. I went through this. I think you weren't listening. Maybe it's because you want to disagree and you think that the buildings do follow some curvature, but they don't. Okay, so your claim is that they do follow a curvature, and because I brought the fact that a level it's a tool to make the floor flat, and you disagree with that. You disagree with that, so you claim that the floors are curved in the building. You should bring up some measurement, and you come with the debate with absolutely nothing. Yet, nothing.
All right,
nada.
All right. Lazy Kevin, I will happily do that. Unlike you, I can support my claims. I'm glad that you're unable to do it. It makes you look silly. So here we go. Here is a measurement across water, which you have asserted earlier today, that the surface of water is flat. Well, let's test that. So this is a view through a theodolite across a lake. And so I'll show the setup here. This is the location of the lake. This is done by a licensed surveyor, Jesse Kozlowski. You can see here he's set up on the shore of the lake a level. Now, a level establishes a horizontal plane at one point on the surface of the geoid. It deviates from the surface as you increase in distance.
And you know what?
Anyway, hey,
All
no,
your
I'm not done.
screen
I'm presenting evidence
I
here.
saw them all.
Chuckles.
I saw
Hey,
them all. You're
Chuckles.
like a parrot.
Hey, Chuckles.
I saw them all.
I'm
right.
presenting
All right.
evidence. Stop
You're
interrupting.
like a
If we need
parrot. You
to,
have nothing new.
just for the sake of being fair here, so
Well, I saw them all. It's a rerun.
Okay, so
It's
just
a rerun. I'm not staying for a rerun. It's
Bye.
an actual rerun.
all right, hold on, just
Bye.
1 second. It's important
Bye,
as well.
baby.
Just
Run
hold
away,
on,
baby.
Hold on, I don't want to mute you as well. Where it's like I'm trying to give you the floor here,
Okay.
MC. But
Change the channel. Change the channel.
but
It's a rerun.
But for our audience who may have not had this discussion, it is important for us to have it back and forth here. So
But it's the same screen sharing at every debate.
okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of you, MC, how long would you feel you need? I'm going to give both sides the same amount. Okay, 2 minutes for each side. So once he's done presenting, I'll give you the floor over to you, Kevin. So I just ask kindly, we're going to give you 2 minutes without interruption. We'll give MC 2 minutes without interruption for the sake of the audience. So go ahead there, Mike, when you're ready.
All right. I just want to remind everybody, Kevin asked me to present evidence. This is what I'm doing. And it hurt him so badly that he had to instantly interrupt me. So here is the continuation of the setup. He's measuring the stick above the surface of the water that Kevin claimed was flat. And he set up the target there. That thing on the left is the target. He measured to the height of the target. And on the other side, he did the same thing. He measured to the height of the theodolite to have the target and the theodolite at the exact same number of millimeters above the surface of the water on both sides. He leveled everything at level, again, is only at that point. Then he measured it. The precision measurement instrument, I'll jump down to here's the final measurement, the thing that Kevin absolutely refused to do. But you can see here that over on the right side, you can see the curve drop from horizontal plane at standpoint. That is in decimal feet. And this is 0.48 miles, so just under half a mile. There's a deviation from flat of 0.15 feet, which works out to precisely 8 inches per mile squared. So there you go. There is, as requested by Kevin, a measurement of the surface of water being curved.
All right, that wasn't quite 2, but I'll still give you 2 minutes, even though that was only about, what, 1 minute and 30. So 2 minutes on the floor there, Kevin, and then we'll go back into the open discussion.
Yeah, seriously, it's the third time I debate with Toom, and it's legit the third time he presents the 2 same screen sharing. So not only he can't talk with his own words, he has to go get others' experiment. But it's the same that he repeats from debates to debates to debates, and I bet he repeats it in other debates. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, about
so no refutation. Thanks.
What?
Earth's a globe.
But why you repeat the same thing? If you have nothing to say, don't do debates anymore. I mean,
I had that to say, and you can't even touch the topic, Kevin. This perfectly describes the problem that all flat earthers have. You brought no evidence. You asked me for evidence. I brought evidence. You refused to address the evidence. You can't address the evidence because the earth is a globe. I just proved it, and you got to run away from the evidence. So again, refuse to talk about the evidence, Kevin. Do as I say. I command you. Refuse to address the evidence.
Anyway. So about the cameras,
thank you for obeying me. You are my puppet.
About
I told you not to address the evidence. You ran from the evidence.
What is the best zoom? What's the best camera out there?
The best camera. This is not a discussion about cameras.
Zoom.
If you'll notice on the screen right now, underneath Kevin's name is flat. Kevin has agreed to address this debate as a debate between flat and globe. I just presented globe evidence. He asked for globe evidence. He ran from the globe evidence.
hey,
Thank you for
Mektoon,
that. Now he is refusing to even address the
Mektoon,
topic at all.
Yeah, just a second. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I was listening to one of your debate. I say listening because it was on Spotify, and a guy brought up my experiment of the measuring of the ice rink. Do you remember that?
I'm not here to talk about meta. If you have evidence for flat Earth, bring it on.
What?
If you'd like to run
Meta?
away from...
I'm not talking about meta.
Yes,
Meta,
you're like, did you hear this other debate at some other time that somebody else had?
It was
Don't
on modern
care.
Hey, it
If
was
you
your
have
debate.
evidence,
It was you
bring up the
debating.
evidence.
Hey,
let's see the evidence.
No, Doom, did you hear what I say? Listen to what I say. You completely misheard me. I was listening to you on modern day debate, debating against a flat earther. I don't remember his name, but he brought up my example of the measuring the ice rink with the level. Do you remember that? It was you debating.
Let me know when you're about to when you're going to participate in this debate again. Just let me know.
Toon, I'm asking you a question. I repeat the question. I was watching a debate. I was listening on Spotify a debate on modern day debate featuring you and a flat earther. And the flat earther brought up my example of the measuring the ice ring with this level. Do you remember?
Just let me know when you're ready to debate, Kevin.
Do you see that this guy is completely... That's not a normal human being.
Kevin,
hey, did you know?
I'm here for a debate about the shape of the Earth, and you want to talk about meta. Let's talk about the shape of the Earth.
What's meta? Meta, it's Facebook. What do you mean, meta?
Oh my gosh, Ryan, can you tell him what meta means? He doesn't.
Yeah,
know.
well, just I mean, I know what you mean, but I think there's a point that is getting made there. But when he says meta, all he means is that you're talking about the debate rather than actually doing the debate. So. Yeah, it's
well,
more.
We can't have
it's
an
analysis of the conversation versus
says.
Well, it's more of he's trying to say that he thinks that you're making an analysis of the conversation rather than having the conversation. So, why don't we get back into what you were presenting for the ice rink there? Maybe there is a language barrier, and that's okay. But we're going to try to work through that as well. So I do apologize, Kevin, if that's been difficult. But let's get back to that example you were making there.
Me?
Yes, if you're ready. If you want
to.
Yeah,
you're Kevin.
I was asking a question to Toon. And at the same time, I was promoting modern day debate. I was listening to modern day debate on Spotify. Okay, I was listening to Toon debating. Okay, because I was planning to go back on debating, and I can't debate Craig because he blocks me. So I figured I'm gonna debate Toon. So I was listening to a debate Toon on modern day debate on Spotify, and the guy brought up my example, my experiment at the ice rink. So I was on Spotify, so I grabbed my phone and I went on YouTube because I figured, hey, he's describing my example, my experiment. So I went on YouTube and I searched the experiment, and I was like, it's my experiment. And Toon was laughing his ass off, but he didn't say something like, okay, first of all, the guy that measured that, it was in a debate with me, and he wasn't trying to measure the curve. He was trying to measure some edge. He came up with the same numbers that as if I was trying to measure the curvature of the Earth with my little level. So do you remember now that debate, Toon?
Is it my turn to talk?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was listening to Spotify the other day. I was I just hit the daily mix on Spotify, and it played Leonard Skinner, and it played Metallica, and have you heard Capitol Lights, everybody? I love this band. It's a punk band, like a pop punk band from a few years ago. They're not together anymore. Great stuff. I really like it. Anyway, reading from the Debater's Guide, let me just read it here. The burden of proof. The burden of proof is the primary rule of any argument or debate. It first requires the affirmative to bear the burden of proving the proposition. Subsequently, it requires every speaker to support every assertion made by that speaker. Because any assertion must be supported by proofs, those who assert must prove
What are you
is
doing?
a fundamental and long-standing rule of every debate. So, as we were having this meta discussion earlier,
I
those
had
who
a feeling
assert
you were doing the cheek.
must
My God.
prove. So, Kevin has asserted that water is flat, did not prove. I assert that water is curved. I did prove. And instead of addressing the evidence, Kevin had meta about my presentation. Then decided to discuss whether or not he thought, or, give us a little history of what he was listening to on Spotify. So I did the same thing. It's just as relevant to this discussion as his is. So anyway, there we go. So far, I've proven in debate it's a little sloppy, but proven the Earth is a globe. Kevin didn't address that with the sunset time. I've proven that the sun could never set on flat Earth. Kevin didn't address that. I've proven that the surface of water curves. Kevin didn't address that. Kevin did assert that the surface of water is flat and did not bring evidence for it.
All right, let's let him
So
sink his
far,
teeth into
Kevin,
any of those, because you're throwing quite a bit out there and saying he hasn't addressed
this
any
is,
of it. So.
I'm just saying, it's not going too well for Kevin here.
All right, so he just listed a whole bunch of things he doesn't feel like you've been adequately addressing. We'll let you chew into any of those that you'd like to. But definitely if we can try to move into some new territory, that's good too. But yeah, go ahead there, Kevin. Let's try to kick it into some new territory if we can.
You want a new territory? That's what you said?
If that's possible, yeah. It seems like we've
hey,
probably
let's
either
bring
addressed
up,
these points, unless you want to, like I say, go back into.
Let's bring up the final experiment, because the deadline is coming. When is that supposed to be, Mike? The final experiment?
I fly out on December 9th.
Oh, you're going?
Yes.
Okay. So, hey, have you heard of the two suns?
I've heard people talk about it.
Yeah. So maybe that's the trick, because I sense just the way Will Duffy behave, it's clear that there's a trick. Like he doesn't have a poker face per se. He's always smiling, like
So
do you have
anything on topic here, dude? You
Well,
agreed that the topic of discussion was flat versus globe. So if you want to talk about the final experiment, I'd love to hear you talk about what you think will happen there. Like maybe you will have a prediction for what we will see there when I go there personally and I'm standing on the ice at 2:30 in the morning. What will I see according to Flat Earth? What's the prediction?
I don't know, but at this point, that's why I bring up the two suns, because if there's a 24-hour sun and there's two suns, it's like it cancels the theory that the flat Earth model doesn't work if there's a 24-hour sun. You understand? If the two suns exist, it's because I had someone sent me a video today of the two suns. I've seen some video before, but it was a Quebecer like me talking, and he was like, I'm not dreaming here. You see that there's a sun and there's another sun, and he's talking like,
how do you think that the one sun could set and we don't notice, and then the other sun appears and we don't notice the swap?
Well,
how could that happen?
Frankly, I don't know.
How could that happen? You don't know. Okay, then I think you jumped the shark there, Kevin, but I think you jumped the shark long ago. Actually.
Hey, there's something I want to tell you. A video about you that I saw, and you say that the flat earthers are content not to know things, like the distance of the sun, of the moon, of the stars. We are content. Yeah. We are not content, but we admit that we don't know. We'd like to know, but we don't believe the main narrative. So we're not going to pretend to know. Like, I don't have my distance from the sun. when you were showing all the distance, their theory, like Eric Dubé says 3,000, okay? And it could be, it's a theory, but the real answer is we don't know.
Once again,
and there's
you
no
assert
shame at
there is shame
there's no
because
shame
you
at answering
100%
you don't know
there's
when
shame
you don't know.
because, as I said, you assert the Earth is flat. Burden of proof is a primary rule of any argument or debate. It first requires affirmative to bear the burden of proving the proposition. You haven't done that, and when you say I don't know the height of the sun, you've agreed that you lose. You wave the white flag. You're done.
Well, okay, if you want to say I'm not here for losing or I'm just
You already did.
or winning.
You already lost. Your refusal to even address the evidence. Right? Maybe you could somehow engage in this, but no. I presented measurements of the surface of water curving, and you didn't even talk about it.
Well, because I know that water doesn't curve. Why would I?
But I just proved that it did.
Well,
I proved that it curves,
fine.
and your only evidence for it is
okay, fine.
I know it doesn't curve.
Yeah.
I proved that it does.
I'm not gonna try to disprove it because I know that water doesn't curve. I understand the physics.
I don't
water.
care about your religious beliefs
but
about
you don't
water.
care.
I have
Okay,
actual empirical measurements of water curving, and you say, I know it doesn't curve. That's a stupid position, Kevin.
All right,
you don't have any evidence.
One second,
Mike.
You
have the burden.
Let's give Kevin a chance to explain his thoughts.
I don't care what you say.
Let's try, without going into more meta-analysis, like I say, let's try to stick to the arguments. I know that that's been a huge factor of tonight's debate, is that you're responding to some of the things that MC Toon has said, which may be part of that consensus. But like I say, we do want to try to stick to the discussion rather than a discussion about the discussion. So yeah, there are other things that we could discuss, like I say, going around the final experiment. I am looking for people. I'm just going to do a quick little shout out in the Modern Day Debate chat that Matthew Hakam has sent me an email saying that he has agreed to do a preliminary debate defending that the final experiment is a hoax, and then I want to have a debate after was the final experiment a hoax. So Matthew has agreed to take part in that preliminary debate. I want to make it a panel, so I am looking for another person who would defend that as well. So definitely, if you know how to contact me on the Discord, I'll just do a quick shout out. Yeah, check out our Modern Day Debate Discord. It's a lot of fun. You can work out your debate chops, and yeah, with that little breather in there, and big shout out to Shane, Hannah, and MXXD for moderating our Discord and also being here and moderating. Let's try to reset the tone there again. A lot of times when we're having these discussions, we do talk about there's a lot of discussion about gravity as it stands, so I don't know if we can get into a discussion about that if there's something you want to put on the table for that, but feel free to, like I say, push it into more directions if you'd like. We got 19 minutes left on the floor, guys, before we're going to read your super chats in the live chat, so just stick with us and we'll get right to it. So I'm going to hand the floor back to Kevin and I'll let you carry into well, let's just carry into more discussion. So go ahead there, Kevin.
All right. There's another thing I want to say about the ice rinks, and Toon, you're gonna like this one because it's an argument that came from Ocean, and I was surprised that you and the other Globers didn't highlight this argument, because that literally cancels my experiment on the indoor ice rink surfaced by a Zamboni, because what he said is, what do you think a Zamboni is for? Is for flattening the ice. So you lose all the natural physics of water. Is not natural anymore because it's been surfaced by the Zamboni. So yeah, he was right. But my example, I don't know if you remember, Toon, but when I debated with you before debating, I shown the outdoor ring being made. And the example was that when you pour water, naturally it lies flat. And then when it freezes, it's easy to measure. So winter's coming, it's November now. So we're gonna have outdoor ice rink. And with my new level, I'm gonna go measure ice rink. And because they say the ice make the laser curve, which it's another delusional claim, which been denied by construction worker and engineer. It's all on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm gonna put something like, I don't know, plywood over the ice. So there's not gonna have refraction that makes the laser curve, which is ridiculous anyway. But you know, I've gained experience. I know how to do it now. I'm becoming an expert at measuring level, and it's just starting. Like I'm getting better. I'm getting better tools, and right now I'm in a location when I have lakes around me, so it's even better than pools because I can go for miles maybe. I don't know. I've got to check the lakes around there. There's a lot of lakes.
All right, Kevin. Ryan, I'm going to share my screen here.
Share the screen again. Same
No worries.
same thing than last debate. Same thing.
All right.
Over and
So
over.
here is
Everybody is
here's
welcome
a little
to share, but go ahead there.
a little Python program that I
I
wrote
think
here.
I saw that before.
So-
It's the same.
Shush,
He's like a
shush.
parrot.
All right,
Kevin,
for the
Kevin,
sake of our
shut your
audience,
face.
we'll give them a chance to present what he's got here on screen. We'll let you respond with equal time. So go ahead there, Mike, when you're ready.
All right. Here's the length of the surface of an ice rink, 60.96 meters. It's an NHL ice rink. And this calculates the amount of curve and the
I
sagitta
don't see
of
the
that.
relevance. I don't see the relevance of all that. We've
Why are
seen
you,
all that.
Why are you interrupting me, dickface?
Why?
Stop
As a matter of
interrupting
fact,
me.
I am.
Stop interrupting me,
All right.
dickface.
Well, what's the relevance of all
Come
this?
on.
All right,
Why
all right,
won't
all
you
right,
let me talk?
If you're going to divulge
Does
What's
this
the
hurt you so
relevance?
much, Kevin?
Okay.
Does it hurt you to have evidence and actual
But-
analysis? This is what big people do, Kevin. Adults
Well,
do this. They
But
actually
you
do
know
the
it's irrelevant. You
computations.
try to gaslight
Come on, Kevin.
with
I'm not
numbers and-
gaslighting. I'm applying your claims, Kevin. So
Okay,
on the
talk.
globe, on the
Okay, talk,
globe,
talk.
here's the
Be
here's the
relevant,
prediction for the globe,
Am I gonna mute it?
dickface.
Am I going to do it, guys? I don't know. I don't want to mute you guys. The audience can see me
Hey,
hovering over
hey,
them.
if he's gonna talk over me,
All right. Let's
right.
do it. Let's do a
5
minute on the
seconds
floor.
after I start, he talks over me.
All
Come
right,
on.
let's do a 1 minute muted around. So I'm just gonna place you on a mute for 1 second there, Kevin, just so we don't get into too much of the weeds here and too distracted. So if you want to describe what you have on screen here for our audience, and then I'll bring Kevin in just 1 second. So 1 minute on the floor there, Mike.
All right, this is what big people do. You make a prediction. You compute the consequences. So I've taken the radius of the Earth and I'm computing the consequences. Take this 60.96 meter long ice rink. What's the sagitta? That's the height of the bulge of the curve in the middle of that. The actual sagitta. How much the globe will curve in the middle is 0.0729 millimeters. That's less than 1/10 of 1 millimeter in the length of an ice rink. So the globe predicts less than 1/10 of 1 millimeter. You need to have a measurement utility that is more precise than that. You need at least 0.01 millimeters of precision. If you don't have that, you're not testing the globe. All right, go ahead.
1 minute uninterrupted for you there, Kevin. Oh, 1 second. We'll get you off the mute there, and I'll ask Mike kindly not to interrupt you, or I'll place him also on mute. So go ahead there, Kevin.
Okay, well, for the last time, it wasn't the curvature of the Earth that I was measuring. You knew. I think you knew all along. And yeah, when the guy brought up my experiment, I was kind of proud, you know, because I went to the arenas and made that experiment, and the guy went on my channel YouTube and took my experiment in a debate. It was cool. Well, it was this ruler, by the way. It was taped to a box, you know, and I was moving the ruler on the ice. And Toon said that the ruler had only millimeter, but that's irrelevant as well, because you could have the other side with no number and just put a dot there. You put a dot and you go back with your ruler, and if your laser doesn't move, it doesn't move. If it doesn't move, it doesn't, you don't care if it's 5 millimeter or it doesn't move, it's level. I don't like, if they claim, it seems like I turning the wheels. I mean, I don't know how to say that. It's, but they claim that ice curve. I measure it flat, They say it's because my instrument or my tool is not precise enough. They say it curves. Show me measurement of curved ice, because it's your claim. They were claiming that ice were curving. I went to measure, they're not. Show me measurement of curved ice. I've been waiting for almost a year now.
Hey, he's passed the ball back to you there, MC.
And this, we see how incredibly ill-prepared flat earthers are to actually participate in science. Kevin doesn't understand the necessity of having a precision measurement. He asked for measurement of curving ice. Well, I showed a measurement of curving water. He wouldn't even address it. And why would water, which is liquid, be any different than ice? Oh, the interruptions. Got it.
Did you take the measurement?
Got it. All right. The interruptions. Thank you, Ryan.
Oh, you're very welcome. What am I supposed to do? Mute everybody every second they open their mouth and try to have a little back and forth?
I don't know. I mean, this has been an obliteration. He's embarrassed himself over and over and over again. I mean, he's obviously not tall enough to ride the ride.
Oh my! Like I say, we can get into our Q&A if, like I say, if you guys are getting to the end of your discussion pool. But I do want to give you as much opportunity to put out as much on the table as you can. So, you know, if you weren't ready for me just to push it into the super chats, either speaker.
I mean, look at this, Ryan.
Go for it.
Let's talk meta.
Oh,
He's
boy.
never once addressed any evidence that I've brought forward. He's made claims and never brought evidence to support his claims. This is a complete failure of a debate on his part. No part of what Kevin has done qualifies as debate. None of it.
All right, let's try to get back.
1 second of this was a debate on his side. He has never even addressed the topic he agreed to address.
All right, let's try to get then back into the subject if we can. Mike is saying that he doesn't feel like you've addressed any of the points that he's brought up. So if you want to take a moment there, Kevin, and dig into, even if you want to put something on screen there, Mike, that you did bring up, just for the sake of the argument, if you feel like that's true, just so our audience also gets that feeling too. Like I say, is there anything that you'd like to highlight, Kevin, that you know that you specifically have pointed out here, or do we want to move into Q&A?
Well, I wanted to talk about levels and camera. We didn't talk about camera much, but I did talk about the levels. That's what I wanted. And yeah, I didn't talk about the Michael doxing, and like he posted my my info in a Facebook group, my work info, encouraging people to
Ryan,
have me fired.
See how perfectly he failed at it instantly?
It is a meta discussion instantly. I will agree that talking about things outside
he
of the discussion,
refuses to participate in a debate.
We are supposed to just be debating flat versus globe, not your personal relationship with MC Toon, which it has been a lot of. I'm not going to lie, there has been a lot of it. So I'm not trying to pick on you. It's just a matter of, I know that that's an important feature, but we are supposed to be debating this as if, you know, Mike's just here to present the globe and you're here to present the flat, and have at it, versus like, oh, me and Mike were in this other space, or you know, he's put some stuff out here today, and like I say, it does seem like you're trying to talk about what was put on the floor yesterday. So if you guys want, like I said, we can take one more chance.
I'm happy to address that.
Go ahead.
I'm happy to address the topic he just brought up. I need to share screen.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, here, can I share screen?
Yeah, let's do that then. Let's try to get back into it. And like I said, I don't want anybody feel like I'm picking on anybody. It's just a matter of how things usually flow here at Modern Day Debate. So, yeah, don't worry about that.
Let me know when you're ready with that, Ryan.
Whoa, now, hold on. We're not going to be sharing people's faces.
That's the real Stanley Cup, eh?
This is
that's
Kevin's
the original Stanley Cup.
Well, that's Kevin's current Facebook page from a non-logged in account. So he's accusing me of doxing him when all I did was take the public information that's publicly on his public Facebook page.
So the correct thing to do was to take the info that an enthusiastic worker that was filling in for me posted on my profile. The correct thing to do was to take a screenshot of that. He was naming my company, posting it in a group where people hate me to the point of threatening me to death on a daily. Okay. And when Craig McNeil was already encouraging people to try to get me fired, you took the screenshot and say, look, he works there.
It's on
That
your
was the correct
public
thing to do. Huh?
Facebook
Instead of
page, Kevin.
listen
That's
to
not
me. Okay?
doxing.
No, hey, listen to me. Instead of messaging me in private and say, hey, Craig, you know how you got your info? It's because it's on your profile. Look, your colleague posted it. You should delete it. No, no, no. You took the screenshot and you posted it in a group where everybody ate me. You knew what was going to happen. You knew what and you said you hide behind the fact that, oh, it was on your public profile.
All right.
The correct thing to do
We've got to
this.
go.
Hey,
All right, hold on. I'm just, like I said, I don't want to mute both of you, but there's only been a discussion about your guys' relationship. If it was a discussion of Kevin versus MC Toon and prior statements or your relationship, I don't appreciate Mike sharing that Facebook page either, but you know, it is what it is at this point. I've taken it off immediately. I do think we'll just move into Q&A and see if our audience has the ability to get us out of this meta discussion.
I just want to ask one question to Michael.
As long as it's not a meta debate topic, if it is, then we're just
If
it has anything to do with your relationship with Mike and not the flat versus globe in a platonic sense, we're gonna move into Q&A.
Is this what you teach your kids how to act on the internet?
Meta.
Michael?
Okay, let's go into Q&A. I'm counting on you, audience. We've done everything we can to try to get this into, but yeah, like I said, there's a lot of discussion around your guys' relationship, and we do want to try to get into flat versus globe. So I'm counting on you, audience. Somebody says just kiss already. You calm down, guys. We're gonna get into your Q&A questions here. Let's see. Monkey Cat Pat MC Toon. Can you provide evidence we live in a ball? On a ball, I think they meant, but still.
On a ball? Well, I did earlier. Thank you for that, Monkey Cat Pat. The
questions for Mike.
The measurement of the surface of water curving at 8 inches per mile squared. Also, the fact that the globe, the radius of the globe, and the distance between a distant sun accurately predicts the sunset time is evidence of the Earth being a globe, and of course the fact that the sun could never set on flat Earth, yet the sun does set, 100% falsifies flat Earth. So yeah, thanks, Monkey Cat Pat.
All right. Did you have any response there, Kevin? And then we'll give the last word to MC.
Response to what?
Okay. All right. I was gonna say, so yeah. So for Q&A, if you want to pay attention to both sides of the argument, and then I
was paying attention.
Okay. So do you have a response to what Mike just said?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to review our poll right now. So currently, right now, we have 466 votes. So keep the votes coming in, everybody. And like I said, this is a representation of the audience that is tuned in tonight. So this always changes depending. So 64 have voted that it is a globe. 22% have voted for flat in the audience. And then 15% have voted a loaf of bread. Grandma's recipe. These people are not here to play by the rules. They're just here to troll and have fun. We appreciate you guys as well. Keep voting in the poll. Hit the like button. And yeah, thanks for your support of Modern Day Debate. Let's ask that next super chat. So yeah, we do bounce them back and forth. So whoever they're asked to usually gets first word. Then your opponent will get a chance to respond. And then you'll get the last word. So this one's coming from LJ. You know LJ, Mike. He's going to be asking you a question. Why doesn't the Earth spin under a hovering helicopter?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, of course it does. Conservation of momentum means that a helicopter, when it takes off, maintains the momentum that it had when it was touching the ground. And so when it goes up, it still maintains that momentum. So it's not Coriolis. That's not what Coriolis is. Coriolis requires movement. It's directly proportional to movement. And if you can determine
You're
the amount
fucked now, eh? Now I have something to say. Keep talking.
Okay, just wrap up your point there, MC, and I think
yeah,
he definitely has a response. So
Coriolis is directly proportional to.
All right, hold on, Kevin. I understand.
All right, you need to mute the little baby there, Ryan.
All right, just before you get distracted there by all that, let's wrap up your point there, MC, and then Kevin, you'll get the floor.
Got it. Coriolis is directly proportional to velocity, And if you compute the Coriolis force of an airplane flying near 70 degrees north latitude, it is significantly less than wind. So Coriolis is not the thing. So yes, conservation of momentum is what LJ is looking for. It's taught to elementary school children.
All right, thoughts over there, Kevin?
Okay, is it conservation of momentum, which would be like, okay, when the helicopter takes off, it keeps spinning because it was spinning while it was touching the earth? Or is it the atmosphere spinning along with the earth? Like we are, which one is it first after I have something else to say?
No. So any thoughts to close out that thought, the question there, Mike? Or
yeah. Conservation of momentum, and of course, wind is a more significant. Weather and things like that are a larger factor in those types of circumstances. And of course, the air does move along with the Earth due to the law of viscosity.
All the atmosphere like that in unison. Like, look, I don't have a sphere, okay, because I just moved here. I don't, but picture that this is a sphere and this is the atmosphere, okay? So when it spins, all the atmosphere spins along. That's what you say? Because gravity pulls all the atmospheres like the atmosphere like that, and it spins. Like,
Kevin,
that's what you're saying?
Just apply the law of viscosity.
That's what you're saying. That
the
atmosphere spins along.
Kevin, there's wind, there's weather. Apply the law of viscosity.
Yeah, but everything spins with it. Everything, if there's wind, because there's wind, no matter what, there's wind. We can't deny that there's wind. But is there wind in an environment like we see, like this, like flat and motionless? Or there's wind that move along with all the atmosphere that spins along? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is it
Kevin, I'm sorry this topic is way beyond your comprehension.
No, it's not. Let's go deeper on this. Okay? And if you can't measure rotation in mile per hour, okay, because you can only measure rotation by RPM, right? Right? Am I right?
Yeah. Rotation is generally measured in angular.
So you can't measure in mile per hour, even though if you Google at what speed the Earth spins, it's gonna say roughly 1,000 miles per hour.
Google isn't a science book.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But so what you're saying is if you're at the Earth level here, or if you are at 10,000 feet here, the atmosphere, it's still the atmosphere at 10,000 feet, right? So
you didn't know? You need me to clarify these things for you?
Yeah, the atmosphere at 10,000 feet, it's the same speed, eh? That's what you're saying?
No, there's wind. There are definitely different speeds.
It's irrelevant to the question. There's always wind, okay? What I'm saying is the speed is the same here at Earth level than in 10,000 of altitude, 10,000 feet of altitude. Do you understand the question?
No, there's wind. There's wind.
Oh my God!
So apply the law of viscosity.
Don't understand the question. How is it relevant? The wind. Okay, I repeat the question.
Let's get that last word.
Picture the Earth.
Go ahead.
Can I repeat the question?
Get to your point. Make your point instead of asking a question.
Yeah. It's important. Try to understand the question. If I'm at Earth level, okay, and you are in a plane at 10,000 feet, okay, of altitude, and the Earth, and we both spin with the Earth and the atmosphere that spins along, okay? So we spin at the same speed, right? Because it's in RPM, it's not in mile per hour. It's a rotation.
Same angular. Yep.
So this one's not going faster than this one. You are not going faster than me.
Yeah, it's the same angular velocity. Yep.
Okay. So if we take two runners, one in the inside track and one in the outside track, and they always rotate at the same speed, do the runner in the outside track runs faster than the runner in the inside track?
Get your point, Kevin.
It's a question. If they are always equal, okay, they run at if do they have to run at the same speed, or the runner in the inside track is gonna run slower, so they stay always equal? It's a question. Do you understand the question?
What's the difference in speed for that 10,000 foot airplane?
You don't
Kevin?
understand the question.
All right.
Kevin,
Okay,
what's the difference in speed?
there's
What's
two
the difference?
runners, one in the
Yeah,
inside track.
what's
Hey,
the
you
difference
try
in
to
speed?
listen. Hey, it's been
I did the
3
math
times.
already, Kevin.
What?
I already did the math.
No. Answer the question. I don't see the relevance of showing
Yeah,
something
all
on
right.
screen when you
Yeah,
can't even
it's a
answer
All right,
my
different
so
speed.
this
question.
this
It's a different
question
speed,
this
Kevin.
question was for MC Toon. So I where you are sharing what you've got there on screen, I do want you to describe to our audience what it is that you have there, Mike, and how it relates to what we're discussing. So I want to let you close this question.
Kevin is trying to assert
That-
that an airplane or something at a higher elevation will have to move at a different linear speed, and that's correct. And we can compute the consequences of that of an airplane at 11 kilometers here, and we can see that the surface of the Earth is traveling at 1,036 miles per hour, and the airplane is traveling at 1,038 miles per hour, a difference of 2 miles per hour at that elevation. And so certainly that airplane that is designed specifically to increase its velocity while it's in the air by significantly more than 2 miles an hour doesn't have a problem making up that little bit of a difference there. So not a challenge at all to have that different velocity. And of course, from when the airplane is at the ground until when the airplane is at 11,000 or 11 kilometers, to make up all of a 2 mile per hour difference is rather trivial, and it's significantly smaller than any just nominal small wind is. So Kevin's assertion here that he's trying to get to is basically misunderstanding the actual magnitude of it. But again, this kind of math here is you know, maybe ninth grade math. And if you want to go over this, I'd be happy to teach you, Kevin.
Okay. So I did a little drawing too. Okay. So we can see, eh? So there's the runner in the inside track, okay, and the runner in the outside track. They're always toe to toe, okay, always from start to finish, okay, and they cross the finish line at the same time. Here's the question again: do the runner in the outside track has to run faster than the runner in the inside track to stay toe to toe and be with him coast to coast from start to finish?
Oh my
Yes
gosh,
or no?
Kevin. I already said yes. Look, 1,036 miles per hour, 1,038 miles per hour. That's the difference in miles per hour of an airplane at 11 kilometers elevation, Kevin. I did the math for you. This is beyond your comprehension. You don't understand this math. You don't get it at all. The difference in velocity on the Earth is trivial.
No, but
So yes, they do have to go at a different speed, but you don't understand the magnitude of it. And then you ask me the same damn question that I already answered. 1,036 miles per hour, 1,038 miles per hour. A different speed, Kevin. They go different speeds, Kevin. Do you want me to circle it in crayon so that you understand it?
It's okay, Mike. Sorry, honestly, I wasn't following what you were saying.
I know it's math. It's beyond you, Kevin. You don't understand this. This is way past you. You're not tall enough to ride.
Let's let Kevin respond.
I was drawing my little picture and I wasn't following. We both agree then that the runner has to run faster. It's a fact. If you were denying that, I would have been on your ass for that for the rest of your life. Okay.
Right on it. Oh my. All right, cool. If you want to wrap up this question here, we do have quite a few more super chats coming in. I want to.
It's embarrassing for
I
Kevin,
almost want to blow a kiss though to our super chatters for being able to pull us into some discussion here that's outside of what we may have experienced had we just let everything continue. So I want to give a big shout out to our live chat for poking and prodding the bear that we have on screen today, which is Modern Day Debate. It's the whole of us, right? We're ready to go. Monkey Cat Pat Pat says, Toon, Kevin says you personally don't do any experiments. Do you have anything planned in the future, like maybe around mid-December?
Yeah, I'm going to Antarctica to do a
Yeah,
bunch
it's a
of
trip.
experiments. So
It's not an experiment.
shut up,
It's a
Kevin.
trip.
My God, Kevin, shut your face. One sentence, you
That's not an
baby.
experiment.
You baby, shut up.
All right. Just 1 second. I will put Kevin on mute because this is a question.
Ryan, seriously, he cannot behave. He's an infant.
Did you want to answer the question about
Yes.
what's going on? Okay, let's go
Yes.
ahead. Let's try to carry on.
Experiment. I will test the hypothesis that the sun will do circles around around us. I will verify that it's the same sun, not a replacement sun, not a second sun, not a simulated sun, by zooming in with my P1000 that you've already looked through today, with a solar filter on it, to get the fingerprint of the sun, which is the sunspots. And people simultaneously will be in Australia getting photographs with solar filters of the sun to see if it has the same sunspots. That couldn't be if they have this the same sunspots can't be a second sun. They would have different sunspots. That's an experiment because the hypothesis is there's one sun and it does circles if it's a globe. And if it's flat Earth, it can't do that. So that makes it an experiment. We're testing a falsifiable hypothesis.
All right, chance to respond there, Kevin.
Well, I got you on video, Mike, saying that it's an observation, which it is. Like, let's be honest, it's a trip to Antarctica, okay? Anyone can do that. And you guys are going to observe the sun. You're not going to take measurement or whatever. You're not going to take sample of the soil or any kind of science. You're going to observe the sun. The sun, it's an observation. And like I said, I got you on video saying it's an observation. I don't think we're going to get in trouble to make an observation, which it is an observation. It's not science. I could go, and I don't know if it's a coincidence that I put out on my channel YouTube a video titled "We're Going to Antarctica," and I asked Toon, McNeil, Prof. Dave, and all the Globe Shield to sponsor me because I'm in super shape and I want to go to Antarctica, but I wanted to cross it. I wanted to cross it by land, not just observe the sun. I wanted to cross it. And I was saying, I live in Montreal. I'm a bike messenger. I'm used to the harsh winter. If you guys want one guy to go to Antarctica, it's me. I know you guys make money with your YouTube channel. Why don't you guys chip in and sponsor me to go to Antarctica, and we'll know what's going on if I get arrested or whatever. And a couple of months later, I shit you not, you can go on my channel. The channel is Cue Ball. The video is "We're Going to Antarctica." Okay. And a few months later, this dude pops out of nowhere. "We're going to Antarctica. I'm a billionaire. I'm going to sponsor here people in here and there." Is this a coincidence? Have you seen my video? "We're going to Antarctica" too?
I think he's asking you a question there, MC Toon. I
Yeah.
want to go to Antarctica.
No,
What's going on?
yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah. Why the hell would anybody pay for you? Save up your own money and go, dude.
Well, I wanted to cross it. Would you cross Antarctica by land? I don't think you would.
Thousands of people have, Kevin. Thousands.
What?
Thousands of people have done it, Kevin.
Thousands of people have crossed Antarctica by land.
Yes.
You go on the record, you say that. Okay.
Yes.
Name a few, okay? People that cross. Of course, it's going to go on Google. If thousands of them cross that, and you know that, you must probably know
Ranulph
one.
Fiennes led the expedition called the Trans-Globe Expedition, starting in 1979, ending in 1982. This is one from a while ago. I interviewed a guy that actually helped do. Will you shut up? You asked me a question.
Okay.
What the hell's wrong with you, Kevin? You infant.
All right.
You absolute baby.
All right, hold on, Mike.
Okay,
Just
chill out,
before we go down
This
to
is
that
stupid.
round. I understand. But yeah.
Kevin,
let's,
you moron.
All right, MC Toon. I know you're having fun throwing out pejoratives.
Get that mute button ready. Ryan, you're going to have to mute me and Kevin. This is going to be a back-forth muting, Ryan.
You're the only one talking right now.
Kevin.
To be fair. All right, so I want to give you a chance to wrap up what you're saying there, and we will give you a chance to respond there, Kevin. So go ahead there, Mike, when you're ready.
I listed somebody. He asked me for somebody. I listed. He didn't shut up. He instantly interrupted me. Kevin's a baby.
All right, let's just move on to the next question.
That was it? That was his conclusion?
Let's just move on to the next question. I don't think we're going to have too much more meat on this bone there, guys. So thank you so much for your questions. LJ asks again, so we're coming in. Thank you, LJ, for your support. We appreciate you. At Modern Day Debate, at what size does sea and ocean water start to curve?
All right, is Kevin muted yet?
I'm not muted.
Is Kevin muted yet?
All right, if we move into muted back and forth somewhere, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. But
that's what it's going to have to be, because he's a baby. He won't shut up. He won't let me answer.
But I was going to say, if we do that, then yeah, it's going to have to be equal time. So I know that's
I'm totally fine with that.
All right, we'll move into muted rounds for the Q&A.
Thank you.
I always try to respect what speakers want to do on screen. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Just a little extra work for Rye over here. I won't be able to engage with the live chat as much. So we'll move into 1 minute back and forths for the Q&A. Let me just stop our timer. 1 second. All right, I'm just going to set that to 1 minute back and forths, and go ahead there, MC2, when you're ready.
All right, so at what distance? It is instant, the difference, of course. The challenge is that it is the ability to measure. As I mentioned earlier, in just over 60 meters, the sagitta is less than 1/10 of 1 millimeter. That's a rather difficult measurement to make, but you can do it over half a mile, and I showed a half a mile measurement that matched 8 inches per mile squared earlier. So LJ, you're welcome. If you're an honest person and a truth seeker, you will now agree that the water curves.
All right, let's take you off the mute there, and we'll reset the timer. And Mike is on mute now. Is your 1 minute?
It's my turn now?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I just want to apologize for interrupting. It's because earlier we were in the discussion and we could go back and forth, and I'm not used to debate like that. And I'm not used to the moment, like, okay, there, I can't interrupt. And I think Toon takes advantage of it, and he just wait for me to interrupt, and you're a moron, and he shouts, and he never stops. You're a baby. I apologize. I didn't know, and that's why I was like, okay, chill out. What the hell? Don't you think you're overreacting a little bit? But he was waiting for that. So when he got the equation, he jumped on it, and you're a moron, you're a baby. I think it's very dishonest. And him and Craig do that a lot because they know I'm not used to debate like him. And when I struggle to share the screen or whatever, they laugh at me and they jump on the equation. Any equation is good to mock people. That's their job. That's how they live. They mock people on the internet.
Right,
is this what you teach your kids, Mike?
All right, that's time. So, Mike, if you want to close this out on the question from LJ, at what size does sea and ocean water start to curve?
Yep, I answered it already. So
all right, fair enough. We'll carry into the next question.
Help LJ.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, LJ. Thank you, Mike and Kevin. We'll carry into the next one. Icy spin. Kevin, if the sun doesn't set, why does it get dark? 1 minute on the floor, Kevin.
Well, we have a beginner out there because the way it's like when we see a light on the street, they seem to be lower and lower. They're not lower and lower. It's the way we see. It's like when you're in a big hallway of a hotel. It seems like the ceiling goes like that, and the floor goes like that, and the wall all to the vanishing point, but they're not. You can use a level, everything, it's straight. It's like the sun is straight. It's not, it seems like it's going over the horizon, but it's straight. It's the way your eyes see. That's simple. That's why I say the one who asks the question is a beginner, because that's one of the first questions people ask the sun.
5 seconds. Oh, all good. All done, sorry. Go ahead there, Mike.
All right, well, I showed the actual computations, the application of geometry, physics, and optics in a concrete example for how the sun cannot set on flat Earth. Kevin brought word salad and did not actually provide any reason why the sun would set, just a religious belief that it would set. So thank you for that, Kevin.
All right, let's just get into the next super chat. Oh, actually, sorry, that one was for you, Kevin. Yeah, we've had so many for you, MC. I'm getting into a habit, I swear. This one was for you, Kevin. So last word for you. 1 minute on the floor.
What? There's a question?
So it's just wrapping up the question. If the sun doesn't set, why does it get dark?
Yeah, well, I already answered that question.
Okay, yeah, we'll carry into the next one. No worries. Like I said, there's always a room for back and forth. JSS Tiger says, as someone who tests flatness and levelness of concrete slabs using ASTM 1155, can the flat earther tell me why levelness and flatness are tested as different things?
Wow. I'm not sure I understand the question, but you know, they say the Globers, they say that flat is not level, but when you look in the dictionary, there's the word at level, there's the word flat appearing like 10 times. Flat, 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 synonym flat, 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 flat. So level and flat, it's pretty much the same thing. If you level a floor, your floor is going to be flat. So
Okay. Let's
yeah.
go into the next one here. Let me just reset that timer. And thank you everybody who's participated in the poll. I'm going to close out our poll and put up a juicier, spicier one of who did you find the most compelling speaker on our panel tonight? Will it be Mike? Will it be Kevin? Or the voices in your head? We're going to ask that in just 1 second. So I'm going to review our poll right now. At 64%, a globe has won. Our live audience has decided 64% is a globe. 22% have said flat. And then 15% say a loaf of bread, grandma's recipe. So they either don't know or they don't care. That 15%. I like you guys. The loaf of bread is fun. So I'm going to dismiss the poll. We're going to close that out and we're going to start a new poll. Thank you once again to the speakers on panel. We're going to ask you your super chats right now, and getting into the next one. IC Spin says, why do hurricanes spin opposite in north and southern hemispheres? I think he's coming at you, Kevin.
I bet this is a question for me because the hurricanes are supposed to be rotating a certain way because of the rotation of the Earth. Well, right now, as I was saying earlier, there's no shame in saying I don't know. I'm not gonna go ahead and say, oh, it's because of the. I don't know. I'm not an expert in hurricane. I've never seen an hurricane. I've never been close to a place that there was an hurricane, so I don't know. Frankly, I don't know.
1 minute on the floor over there, Mike, if you want to respond.
Yep. Well, the globe predicts and requires that hurricanes rotate opposite directions, and flat Earth, being typically described as stationary, would mandate that hurricanes don't have any particular preferred direction, and probably wouldn't even be very common if the Earth wasn't actually rotating. So we do see them do that, and that's because you've got different temperatures. And when the air moves out of one area, it moves quickly into another area. And as I talked about earlier, Coriolis is directly proportional to velocity. So hurricanes have a higher velocity if they have a higher temperature differential, causing more rotation. And again, they don't cross the equator because the Coriolis force at the equator is horizontally minimized at the equator.
All right,
Okay,
last minute.
can I say something?
Yeah, last minute to close the question.
Because I literally forgot earlier. You remember when I say, oh, you're fucked, and then I come up with my example of the runner, but I forgot to talk about the Coriolis effect, because if the Globers, they say, okay, they say we can have both. Like, I want Michael to explain this, okay? If
Yeah, we can go
the
into some back and forth.
atmosphere,
I'm just going to put this out there right quick. If you want to go down a new avenue, we can totally have a discussion about the Coriolis and all that. It comes up a lot in this in these discussions. But I just advise our audience, yeah, we'll take a moment to go down this path. Keep super chats coming in, and it sounds like we're really maybe directing the conversation. So let's continue, Kevin, and I definitely will allow for some back and forth if that's okay by Mike.
so I keep going with that idea.
Yes, sir, if you would like to.
Okay, yeah. So if the atmosphere spins along with the Earth, okay, which Globers seems all to agree with, and it's a ridiculous idea when you think about it. All the atmosphere spins along, like I was doing with the puck. This is the Earth, and woohoo, it spins because gravity pulls it. You understand how stupid it sounds, but that's what they say. But then they say Coriolis effect, okay, which is, okay, for example, the most common example is the snipers. The snipers, they have to adjust their shoot because the Earth spins underneath their bullets, which is not in contact with the Earth anymore. But if the atmosphere spins along with the Earth, the Coriolis effect by logic cannot be a thing, cannot exist. So which one is it? Because the Globers, they tell me it's both. You don't know science, and they don't know any further. So explain to me how both can coexist. The atmosphere spins along with the Earth, and the Coriolis effect is a thing.
Coriolis causes a both a vertical and lateral deflection in moving in objects that are in motion relative to the surface of the Earth. The vertical component is typically called the Utvush effect, and typically when we say Coriolis, we're typically meaning just the horizontal component. So the horizontal component is minimized at the equator, maximized at the poles, and it's about movement of air or objects. And so since the air doesn't typically move at a very high speed unless it's in a hurricane, then the Coriolis the movement of wind due to Coriolis is very minor. And since there's many other factors at play in the weather, those tend to overpower in magnitude the Coriolis effect. But of course, hurricanes are an example. And the reason why it's an example is because you've got these radially moving wind. And so all of them together can move laterally, where you don't have if it's over the surface of land and you have wind and things like that happening, and it's not just this radial effect, they can't move together, so they get canceled out.
Okay, we can
Okay, I'm
continue.
not sure this is really answering my question, but I'm
Yeah,
going
it
to
went
say
over your
another
head.
thing about
Yeah.
that, okay? Well, I just want to make sure you understand that with the theory that the atmosphere spins along with the Earth, if there's an hurricane, all the hurricane spins along with the atmosphere. So it doesn't like that's the way that's why a helicopter supposedly you can't hover with a helicopter or a hot air balloon and wait for the country you want to go to come to you with the rotation, because the atmosphere spins along with the Earth. So it's not earlier I was asking, is it conservation of momentum? Because at some point of hovering, you're gonna lose that conservation. You're not gonna conserve it anymore. When it's an hour, you're not in contact with the Earth. You're still conserving the momentum. Okay, is it that, or is it the atmosphere that spins along? You see, there's a lot of theory, and then you come with the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect cannot exist if the atmosphere spins along with everything in it. That's what I'm saying here.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead there, Mike, if you want to respond.
All right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Kevin, this is way beyond your comprehension.
Yeah,
The Coriolis force, the acceleration due to Coriolis is 2 times the velocity times omega, which is the angular velocity of the Earth, times sine of the latitude. And so it's directly proportional to velocity. So typically wind has a very low velocity, and a hovering helicopter has a velocity of 0 in relation to the surface of the Earth. So that hovering helicopter has a Coriolis force of 0. And say, take a hot air balloon. Hot air balloons don't move that fast, so the velocity is rather slow. So once again, the Coriolis force is rather slow, and the wind and weather and other factors are significantly larger in magnitude.
Okay, you keep talking about wind, which is completely irrelevant because all the atmosphere spins along and the wind with it. So there's wind, whether the Earth is moving or not moving, the wind doesn't change. It's always irrelevant. Every time you brought up the wind, it was irrelevant. And secondly, you say an helicopter move, you said a balloon moves slower, but it's irrelevant as well, because the reason why I take an helicopter as an example and not a plane is because an helicopter can hover on the spot, just like a hot air balloon. So they're not going at any speed. They're going at zero. Okay? So it's irrelevant that you say, oh, a balloon goes slower. Okay? But yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
ask the next question there, guys. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for engaging. So, Bruce, let's see. Are there any experiments Kevin might accept as proof that the Earth is a globe?
Yes,
Thank you, Bruce.
definitely. It's called, how we call that, Brian Mullins, what's his experiment? You guys know Brian Mullins? Force the line. Do you guys know force the line?
I don't know
You
if you're
can
asking our
see it.
audience, but I
Okay.
see Mike is having quite a reaction. I don't know if Mike has a description, but you go ahead there, Kevin, and we'll
Okay,
hand you
you
the ball
can
in a
go
second.
on my YouTube channel. I did my version of Force the Line because Brian Mullins' version, it was very elaborate and expensive. He was calling out like Disney or big corporation to build such a structure, and I propose like a more economic way to build it with woods and a way that anyone can do it, but it's a lot of work. Okay, so what is force the line? Okay, you use a level to build, okay, your structure. Okay, let's say for example you start your structure 20 feet high. Okay, and you always level the top, but it goes like, okay, like here in Canada we have one of the tallest, one of the longest highway in the world. It crosses Canada. So that would be the perfect place because it's straight. So you could have that structure called force the line following the highway. And if curve there is, you could follow the curve because your structure, let's say it start 20 feet high, it would go, you could follow like with lights and everything, and like, oh look kids, we're at 19 feet, we lost a feet of curvature, and as long as you keep going, oh look, we lost another feet, and when you go the other way, the other side of the curve, you could measure the curve. And even Brian Mullins said in the experiment, like they told us that the Earth is not a perfect sphere; it's an oblate spheroid. Well, with force the line, you could measure that eggish form and see exactly where is not perfect sphere and where is it oblate spheroid.
All right.
So
I'm
that
gonna have to ask you to
experiment,
wrap it right there because, like I
yeah,
said, we are
my
passing the
experiment,
questions.
the experiment force the line would be an experiment that would convince me if you level the top and you lose the structure inside the curvature and it's always level at the top, it would be proof of the curvature of the Earth.
All right. So 1 minute over there,
Force
Mike,
the
and
line.
then we'll give you the last word there, Kevin.
Wow, the monologue. Yeah, force line shows that the people proposing it don't have an idea of materials and rigidity. So if you're going to force the line is making a physical line that's straight for many miles. So over the distance of an entire mile, the rigidity of the structure must flex less than 8 inches at the far end. And there is no material science that exists to manufacture something like this. He proposes using a level, and I suppose he would want to use a spirit level at each individual section, which wouldn't tell you anything because on the surface of a globe, a level is orthogonal to the vertical at every point, and so it deviates. And on a flat surface, level is orthogonal at all points.
5 seconds.
To vertical. So it's the same. If you're just using level over that distance, you have no way to differentiate the two.
Last word over there, Kevin.
Hey, would you partner with me to build force the line too?
You completely misunderstood my response. The fact that anybody suggests that force align is a valid way to do it shows that they don't understand the topic at all.
No, I
You're
think
not
you
tall
ate
enough to
force the
ride.
line.
All right, that was the
I think
last
you,
word to
I
Kevin.
think you ate the idea of force the line because force the line would prove
If the
not
force
only
line is
prove-
too stupid, Kevin.
No,
Kevin,
it's
force
not-
line won't work because there's no way to build a structure a mile long that does not flex.
All right.
That's the problem, Kevin, and
You
you're too
level
dumb to
the top.
understand it,
You
Kevin.
level. Oh, you
You're
said
too
you're
stupid to
saying
understand it, Kevin. The
you're
problem is you
saying-
don't understand how
Whoa, whoa,
these
whoa.
things
You're
work.
saying
All right,
that
last
my
simpleton.
long
last
structure-
word for Kevin. So sorry, Mike. I got to place you on a mute there. Last word for Kevin. We're moving on.
So you're saying that you can't build a structure of a mile long and more if you don't level the top. The level, man, do you own one of these?
All right, if you're gonna ask him
Michael.
questions, I'll have to take him off mute. he's stepping away.
Well, it's because when I talk about the laser level and I told them on the other debate, I called an expert, I called the company DeWalt, okay, and DeWalt transferred me to a guy. They say, if you have questions about laser level, you have to talk to this guy, okay. And when I brought this guy up in the debate, I mean, they said,
All right, time to have him shut up. Let's move on, Ryan.
The Globers,
That's enough. He's too
look
stupid.
him up.
He's
Five
too
seconds.
stupid. to
Hold
understand
on,
this.
Mike. We're just
He
gonna do
just
last 5
monologues.
seconds.
Hey, why are you interrupting me? Okay, and when I brought up my expert in the debate, they say they research him and they say, oh,
5 seconds, you
he's
said.
a salesman.
That is
He's
time.
a salesman.
Ryan,
That's not an
What the hell's
All right.
going on?
Hold on, Mike. It is time for us to move on to the next question. It is fair because we did set the timer and we only had one back and forth discussing Coriolis or Coriolis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but we do need to move on to the next question. We do have a couple more super chats to go through, and it does seem like MC Toon is ready to move on out. I might be picking up on that energy there. So I think if you got any questions, you better get in.
And interrupting.
Okay. Well, we'll try
If you're
to.
gonna say 5 seconds, mute him in 5 seconds. Got it?
But I don't mute you when you're wrapping up a little snippet. I try to let everybody wrap up at the very least. But yeah, let's try to keep it contained. Potato Man says, MC Toon, are you proud? That's kind of rude, Potato Man. But what I will say is, MC Toon, I'm gonna try to clean this up for you. If you do,
Just read it. No, read it straight.
So they said, are you proud of? No. This is rude. I'm gonna clean it up. All right. If it is the case that you feel like the people that you're debating are so far beneath you, as far as what their knowledge is concerned, why are you bothering to debate them in the first place?
Excellent question.
Okay. He's answering.
Hold on. Let's go ahead there, Em.
Go ahead. I gotta get something. Let him answer since he thought it was for him.
Oh my goodness, we're having one of those moments, guys. It's okay. Hey, you know what? I haven't given a moment. If you want to take a moment, Kevin, and grab yourself a drink or use the washroom, that's totally cool. I've had you here for almost 2 hours. So if you want to take a moment to do that, I'll do a little housekeeping.
I'm okay.
We'll let our audience know that we're doing what we can to try to keep everything together here. But
can I talk then?
It's been interesting.
Since he left?
Well, I mean, there's not really an opportunity for Mike to respond. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and this is.
Well, I just wanted to answer to the question, but I thought it was an excellent question, and I'm wondering that too because I cross path with Globers like Mike every time.
All right, is he done?
On YouTube. Yeah, go ahead.
He had just started.
I want to know why.
We were just discussing this question, but if you want to go ahead there, Mike. Like I said, I did try to clean it up a little bit there, just for the sake of being kind. But if you want to answer the way I framed it, which is what I think they're trying to convey.
All right. Yeah, I do it to show how incredibly vacuous flat earthers are. He agreed to debate flat earth and he presented evidence for flat earth. That was his agreement. And never once did he do that. I agreed to show evidence for the globe. I did it over and over and over. And he couldn't even address the topic at all. So I do it to publicly humiliate flat earthers, to show everybody else that flat earthers have no evidence. And Kevin did a perfect job of providing that tonight.
So that's the reason why you do it, to publicly humiliate people. Is that
Yes.
what you teach your
Yes,
kids
Kevin.
to do?
Yes, publicly humiliate flat earthers. That's a
Yeah, you
great
teach
idea.
your kids to
Name
do
and
that.
shame.
Hey kids,
Yes.
we're gonna humiliate people on the internet. That's
All
what
right.
good
We're just
people
going
do.
back into meta. That's okay. I'm going to do that new poll, everybody. So who did you find the most, I don't type that fast, just bear with me, the most compelling this evening? And we're going to put that in the old live chat in just 2 seconds. I appreciate everybody in the live chat participating and asking super chats. We are bearing down on them now. There have been a few that have kind of really opened up the door on a few things, and we appreciate you guys for really putting in the effort there. Let's just get our speakers put in here. So, make sure I spell your names right. And we're going to start that poll. No voices inside my head. You guys only got the dichotomy there. We're going to go back to your super chats. Thank you so much, everybody. JSS Tiger asks, can Kevin steelman the globe definition of level? Oh, we already asked that one. Sorry. I scrolled up a little too far. Mr. Shank, thanks for being here, Mr. Shank, says, how does a plane reflect light on the bottom of it during the sunset/rise on a flat Earth? Because for that to happen, the sun needs to appear below the plane.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so he's saying, how does a plane, and so when you look at a plane,
an airplane?
Yeah, how does an airplane reflect light on the bottom of it during the sunset and rise on a flat Earth? Because for that reflection to happen, the sun would need to be below the plane.
Well, I never made that observation myself. On the spot like that, I couldn't answer to that question.
I've honestly never actually heard somebody pose this question before,
Me
Mr.
neither.
Shank. This is pretty interesting. So, Mike, did you have any input for what Mr. Shank is putting down? I think it's
it's
different.
Yeah, of course he's gonna have an answer.
Well, I have
Share
asked
screen.
him. I've asked him to input, so I am gonna just. You just hang out on mute for 1 second. I've asked Mike if he has any input since you wrapped up there. So go ahead there, Mike.
Yeah, it's another great falsification of flat Earth. The fact that the bottom of a plane can have light on it and the top of the plane not have direct sunlight on it is impossible on flat Earth, unless maybe the flat earthers want to propose that the sun is lower than an airplane, actually physically lower than an airplane, because how would that light get just on the bottom and not on the top? Makes no sense. But on the globe, it makes perfect sense because the sun is far away and the Earth is at the right angle for it to happen.
All right, last minute on the floor for you, Kevin.
Well, to be frank, I had a phone call, so I didn't really hear what Michael said. But
no worries.
Anyway, yeah, I didn't hear, so I'm not gonna comment about it.
Fair enough. Let's carry into the next super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Shank. Like I said, I've hosted a lot of these debates, and that's a new one. That's a new super chat for sure. So I appreciate that. Thought-provoking. Little. What would you say? Insert. Tom BG says, question for us non-science people: is all the planets flat? Are all the planets flat or just Earth? Does the flat Earth spin? So there's a couple questions here. They paid quite a bit for this super chat. So
yeah, I bet that's a question for me, eh?
Yeah. So let's start with the first one. Are all the planets flat or just the Earth?
Well, it's because when we learn the heliocentric model, we learn that we are part of it. Like we are the third rock from the sun. And from them, if we were on a star or on Mars, we would be a dot, like we see dot. But that's not the case. The dots are in the sky, okay? And the sun is not a star. The stars are stars. The planets are wandering stars, and the sun is the sun, and the moon is the moon. And we're not part of it. We're the bottom of it.
All right. Any thoughts on the other side?
All these celestial.
100% avoided the question. So whoever paid for that just got screwed. But
What?
asking a flurf questions,
I was still answering.
Shush.
Well, I
Your
was going to
time's
say
up.
Why am I being interrupted? I
well-
was answering the question.
well,
He
we were
doesn't
at the end-
understand that
we-
he gets a minute. He's
we
not
were at the
smart
end of the
enough to
time, and
understand
that's
that.
what you
okay,
requested
it's a minute.
earlier. So
He's
sorry.
not bright enough.
Okay, just
He
if,
doesn't get this.
Yeah, take advantage.
He's too
take advantage.
stupid to understand that he
Yeah.
gets a minute.
if this is all you're going to
Brian,
do,
this
Mike,
is
though-
great.
Mike,
I
if this,
love this.
Mike, if this is all
Flat
you're going to
earthers
do,
are not even smart enough to understand that you get a minute to
what is
talk.
going on here? Okay, so beyond all that, if you want to respond, that's great. But yeah.
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay, so are all the planets flat or just Earth is the question on the table right now.
The planets could not be flat because when you have something that's flat like this here, when you're looking at it from the side, it's not a circle anymore. It's an ellipse. So since we see the circles, all the planets are circles. The only shape that from all sides is a circle is a sphere. The planets must be spheres.
All right, let's.
To be frank, I never heard that one before. I'm sure gonna clip this.
All right, well, let's ask the second part. Does the flat Earth spin? I'm going to watch my timer this time. 1 minute on the floor there, Kevin.
Or no, the flat Earth doesn't spin. That's what we say, flat and motionless. And yeah, to finish what I was saying earlier, like we were led to believe that Earth was the third rock from the sun, but that's just not the case. What the star are, we don't know. That's another. I don't how far they are. I don't know, but I'm sure that they are right there. They are not light years away, like 40, 80, 100 light years away. No, they are just there. I can see them with my camera. I can see them with my naked eyes. That make absolutely no sense to say that they are light years away. So it all rotates over us, and it's not flat or round. They're dots.
All right,
they're just dots.
that is
I
time.
can see them with my camera.
So we're going to move to the next question. I will say Third Stone from the Sun. That is one of my favorite Jimi Hendrix tunes. Every time I host a debate, somebody says a little key phrase, and I have to go on a new music journey. What a fantastic Jimi Hendrix tune Third Stone from the Sun is. IC Spin, thank you so much for your super chat. Says, so this is a reiteration of their super chat earlier, so it's going to be a little similar, but somewhat more precise. So, why do stars spin opposite at north and south poles? I don't think IC Spin feels like they got what they wanted out of their first super chat, so we're going to entertain this again. Go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is the best question a glober can ask to a flat earther, and he can't really answer. And they go, ha ha, you can't answer that question. That means it's a globe. And it's funny because when I was first a flat earther, when I was a beginner, like in 2016 or 17, I asked in private to Jeranism because he was one of the first flat earther I was listening to. And I asked him that question, and he couldn't answer. And he told me, listen, I'm trying to find the truth. If I'm proved somehow that it's a globe and it's not flat, I will accept that. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that mindset. It's the same for me. But I'm pretty sure it's flat. Back then, I was just pretty sure. Right now, I'm absolutely certain that it's flat.
All right, that's time.
But
we're going to give the other side a chance to respond. 1 minute.
All right. Well, here is an analog for the flat Earth there, and I've got little glow in the dark stickers on it as analog stars. So if an observer is here on the surface of the Earth looking up at the North Pole here, that's what the North Pole would be, you'd see a circle of stars around at night. But according to Flat Earth, by computing the consequences of Flat Earth, if you're here and you're looking to the south, which is toward the outside perimeter, then the stars will be doing sideways movement. This is the prediction for Flat Earth, is that the stars will be doing sideways lateral motion instead of a single point of rotation due south, which is due south for all observers. It completely falsifies flat Earth. Yet another thing. So great question for that one. Thank you.
Well, I
And
agree that
I will be testing this in Punta Arenas. I will be doing with the P1000 a Star Trail video.
you have a P1000.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're good cameras because Craig
No,
always says that
It's
they're
not.
horrible
It's
cameras.
not a great camera. I don't like it much.
Sure. Okay. What zooms into the moon better, a P1000 or a Galaxy S24 Ultra?
I don't know, but the P1000 has a lot of chromatic aberration at high zoom, so it's bad at,
Okay.
at
Okay.
dark.
I know
dark
why
photos.
you're not answering that question.
Ooh.
But about the question of the stars not rotating the same way in the southern and the northern hemisphere, I agree that this is a great question. I saw some people saying that the reflection of the on the dome and they're spinning a light and it makes it spin the other way. But frankly, it's a big I don't know. But in the way I am thinking right now, I know that this is not counter the fact that the physics of water always flat and level, no matter what measurement this clown brings up on the net. Like, look,
Whoa, throwing in
I
some
measured
spice.
I measured water curving. Yeah, sure.
All right, let's get to the next super chat there, guys. Let's try to behave now. No, honestly, it's been fun. You know, interesting for sure. Different in a lot of ways with the super chats and the inputs that we're getting. I'm really glad that we're getting to unpack a little bit more in our Q&A. So yeah, if you've got questions, keep them coming in, guys. It seems like you guys are a real can opener to our discussion here tonight. So Shovelhead Steve with $2 super chat says Kevin equals poop emoji. Thank you so much, Shovelhead Steve. You're so objective and true, apparently. And no, honestly, Shovelhead Steve, you're rude. That's not very nice. Come on, you could have asked a question and pushed the conversation rather than you know, virtue signal for people who agree with you. Potato Man, I don't know. I'm trying to deal with the situation there, guys. Potato Man, MC Tune, why do you humiliate? Yeah, we already asked a similar question.
Well, it's a good question. You should ask it.
You're rude.
Word for
Mike.
word. Go ahead.
You're being rude. All right, Jordan Marston says, "Hey Ryan, hey Jordan, how you doing, buddy? I'm doing fantastic. All right, big fan from New Brunswick, Canada. Hey, look, a fellow Canadian. He's in between me and you there, Kevin, from New Brunswick, Canada. I have a sister actually out there in New Brunswick. She just finished up her PhD last year and then moved out there. So yeah, she's been telling me it's a much quainter place than where I am, apparently. Which I don't know if you could get more quaint than Nova Scotia. I mean, I try playing shows out and about, and yeah, it can be hit or miss for sure. All right, let's see what the question is there, Jordan. What do you find most frustrating when it comes to debating flat earthers? That's for you, MC.
Most frustrating is usually what frustrates me the most is when they act like a child and they can't stop interrupting. They'll ask me a question, and then halfway into my first sentence they interrupt. That's actually the most frustrating. But I mean, I get it. It really makes them look like horrible people and makes them look like, I mean, I really am happy to have them look like that. So it's frustrating, but I'm accomplishing my goal of making them look bad. So
Yeah, it makes you frustrated to the point to posting my work info in a public group where everybody hates me, and that makes you a good person to make such a thing. That you call me a horrible people, man. You tried to get me fired in my real life. You tried to have me losing my job, and you call me a horrible person. I mean, reality check. Reality check.
Meta.
When people
Facebook
say
is a public website, your public profile has things on it.
That's it. The correct thing to
Anybody
do
can
was
go look at it.
it.
If you don't want it on there, just take it off. Be a big boy.
Now,
So,
I was gonna
okay.
say, yeah, let's just move on.
That's
there, guys.
what I just proved that you are a horrible person. Indeed, that's
Alright.
what you are. And that's what you're going to teach your kids. Post info. If it's available for all, take the
It's a
info and
public
post
website.
it. Encourage people
Absolutely.
to fire these
Right,
people.
we got a fellow Canadian also coming in once again. Phoenix Rising 86. Thank you so much for your super chat. We appreciate you. So our Canadian brother or sister says the reason God made globe delusion was to see what humanity would do unsupervised, and we catapulted our ball Earth into the sun through population collapse. I am the Antichrist. You have 4 years to live, MC Toon. I don't know. It just sounds a little freaky at the end there.
Yeah, obviously this Phoenix Rising guy is not well. He sounds a little bit like the followers of Mark Braun, who literally think that Mark Braun is Satan. He claims to be Satan, and he wants to take a group of 18,000 people to the North Pole and have them jump into the Lake of Fire. His words, Mark Braun's words. Mark Braun is a flat earther. He predates Dubé. He's been around for about 11 years talking about flat Earth. Dubé just hit 10 next month. So Phoenix Rising sounds like that guy. Little Nuts probably should be on a list.
Oh my. All right. Well, let's just carry into the next question. This is also from
Okay,
Phoenix Rising.
Can I ask?
I'm
I
pretty
wanna
sure they
ask
were
a
just
question
trolling with
about
the
guns.
first chat, but okay. If you want to go ahead there, Kevin.
Yeah, I want to ask to Mike if he believes in God.
Yes.
Yes, you do. So you're a Christian. You're what we call a Christian.
Yes.
Well, that's funny because I'm an atheist, and usually it's the opposite. The flat earther is going to be the Christian, and I don't believe in any sort of God. That's why I was curious because you told me the other day you were celebrating Easter, so I figure okay, this is we celebrate it as a Christian. What? Go in your private message. You told me I have a family. I celebrate Easter. I'm sure you will understand. So we celebrate Easter as a Christian holiday, even though if it's not, okay, from the get-go, it's not, but we celebrate it as the resurrection of Christ. So I figure, oh, he must be a Christian. So that's why I ask you. And it's funny because I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in any sort of God, and I'm the flat earther. I just wanted to know. Let's move on.
Gotcha. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, definitely maybe some more to unpack in the future. Phoenix Rising 86 says, host, read my super chat or your third to see God. I don't know what you're saying here, Phoenix Rising. It sounds like you're aiming a supernatural laser, and I'm about to get sniped. All right, Phoenix Rising says Phoenix Rising 86 says no heaven for MC Goon. All right, well I guess no heaven for the Goonster over there. I'm sorry to say that, Mike. That's how Phoenix Rising feels.
So Phoenix Rising sounds a little bit to me like Dylan Pountney, another Canadian. So Dylan was a follower of Mark Braun and used a knife and ended one of his classmates in school, and is just a couple months ago was sentenced to a pretty hefty prison sentence. A flat earther following Mark Braun talked about that type of wordage as this Phoenix Rising did.
Well, with all that lovely stuff aside, Icy Spin.
Oh dear,
says,
I'm 100% right. Phoenix Rising has a blood over intent video on his channel. Called it.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, blood over intent is a cult thing. Dylan Pountney also did blood over intent. They are of the same family, so definitely put Phoenix Rising on a list.
Oh yeah, that
the
blood
same list,
over
the same list
intent
that
guy.
Dylan Pountney did should have been on before he killed a classmate.
This is getting a little spicier than I had
Yeah,
anticipated.
Phoenix Rising is a dangerous person.
Okay. Well, they
100%.
also said, wow, congrats, kid. After that comment, Icy Spin says, why doesn't the sun change? Should we move through these chats from Phoenix first before we get back to it? Because I feel like this is going to be a huge
wrap
side.
up all the Phoenix ones. This cult stuff makes flat earthers look
So
Not
Phoenix
so.
Rising said projecting a hole, a hole. What a goon. Phoenix Rising also followed up, said, sorry, you're slow, with a peace out. Then they said, my name is Mark Clifford Cole. I'm from Brantford, Ontario, the Telephone City ET phone home. Thanks, goon, for the projection. A-hole. And then the last one from Phoenix Rising says, whatever, dude, this is to your last comment. Whatever, dude, just keep ranting about nothing. So, seems like there's quite a bit of history there. I'm not
I
totally
don't
up on
know
everything.
of
So.
Phoenix Rising at all, other than that I correctly call that he's a blood over intent follower of Mark Braun, who literally claims to be Satan. Flat Earthers, this is your heritage. The flat Earth on YouTube is the history of it goes to Mark Braun, who literally claims to be Satan. That is the history of flat Earth. Satan is the history of flat Earth.
Satan. Okay, all right. Let's just move on. I'm sorry.
I don't know this person anyway.
Everything's scary tonight. I'm sorry. All right. Icy Spin says, oh, why doesn't the sun change size throughout the day?
Well, yes, personally, I've never looked at the sun, okay, and observe. Well, I looked at the sun, but I mean, never made any scientific observation of the sun, time lapse or anything. But when we see sunset, sometimes the sun is big, sometimes the sun is smaller. So I guess there's an atmospheric cleansing because the sun doesn't become bigger. I don't know, but sometimes it's very big when we watch the sunset. And I've seen some video of flat earthers that say, "Look, the sun changes side." And I've seen some video of globers that say, "Look, the sun doesn't change side." So, and personally, I've never made some observation, so I couldn't really say. And still there could be some atmospheric cleansing that changes size.
That is size. So we're going to hand the floor over to Mike to respond, and then we'll give you the last word. 1 minute.
Yeah, the reality is when you actually measure it using proper measurement tools, the sun's angular width does not vary by hardly any at all. It does not actually look bigger, or it doesn't actually get bigger at sunset. It looks bigger to us because we have perceptions and we can be fooled. But if you measure it, it is not bigger.
Okay, last minute for you.
What you're saying, Mike? It looks bigger at sunset, but it's not. It's our perception. But yes. Why do we perceive the sun bigger? Is it atmospheric lensing, or is
it's not actually bigger. We're just fooled by it.
It's his last.
Okay, but we see. You agree that sometime at the sunset, the sun is bigger. It looks big. It's not. I'm not gonna have the flat earther argument that says, look, it's get smaller when it's get farther, because it does look big at the sunset. Do you agree with that?
It looks bigger because of our perception. When you measure it, it isn't actually bigger. You can extend your arm at full length.
When you measure it,
extend your arm at full length, and the moon is easier because you can look at the moon. The moon is about half the width of your pinky. If you look at it when you're like, oh my goodness, look at the moon, it looks really big today. Extend your arm, put your pinky out there, see that it's about half the width of your pinky. You do the same a couple hours later when it's not near the horizon. You do the same thing. You see it's the same size. The reason why it appears bigger is because there's things nearby that trick our brain into making it look bigger, but it's not.
Okay, Kevin, last
look at me. I'm a scientist. I measure the moon and sun. Look at me. Hey, it makes no sense, man. You're serious? You don't even know the distance.
Over your head. Got it. Over your head.
All right. Now that we've all squished our heads on camera, JSS Tiger says to Kevin, do flat earthers stand against education?
Well, we don't stand against knowledge, okay? But the education in the system we live in is provided by the government. The government. It has to be approved by the government. It's the ministry of the government that decides what we learn at school. So I'm not saying that everything that we learn at school is wrong. Like I'm not saying don't go to school, that's not good, because if you don't go to school and you don't learn to read, you don't learn math and other things, you won't succeed in life. Okay, if you can't read, you won't succeed in life. Okay, so but what I disagree with, it's the lies that they tell at school. Like we're all aware of the lie. They say that Christopher Columbus discovered America when we know it's not true. When he came here, there was already civilizations, and there was already different civilizations. So he didn't discover anything.
So
like
we need to
he
pass
was the first European of this
All right,
era.
thank you. So, the government
minute.
doesn't tell me what to teach my kids. I teach my kids. This is the physics book that I'm currently using on my 9th grade kid, and I teach math and science. Nobody else does, and I teach what I want.
You teach history to your kids? Mike, do you teach history to your kids? Do you tell them that Christopher Columbus discovered America?
We tell them that Christopher Columbus was one of the early people from Europe to figure out that you could safely go between Europe and the Americas, and that he did in fact find the islands there in the Caribbean, and that many people from Europe were unaware of it at the time, but not all of them. Some, especially potentially Northerners, knew more about it because they had better, they were able to. They had a shorter route to go if they stayed north, kept Iceland and Greenland.
Last 10 seconds.
Do you teach your kids? Okay, what I understand, you homeschool your kids. That's it. You homeschool your kids, or they go to regular school?
I homeschool.
You homeschool all the way. Okay. So history, when you tell them about Christopher Columbus being one of the early European to cross the Atlantic,
I will let her keep going,
to
guys.
rediscover America, okay, or arrives to America. First of all, we already know that the Vikings were here before, and they were from Europe, but from here in America, not only there was the native that were already there and living and had all their society and cities, but there were the different city of the Mayans, the Inca, the Aztec, the Olmecs. They weren't existing anymore because they were different civilizations. Do you teach that to your kids, that we discovered cities in the Amazon, and before there were cities there was people, and we don't know nothing
10
about this
seconds.
civilization because they were already defunct when the white European arrived here? Do you teach that to your kids?
Oh my gosh, Kevin. Yes, we teach them history.
Yeah.
It's like you had no clue how history works, and you're like, oh wow, this stuff. Yes, he discovered America, and then you want to play word games like, oh yes, there were already people here. Yeah, we get that. But to the Europeans that were unaware of America being that direction, or of a continent being that direction close enough, versus having to go across land to get to Asia, that was a new discovery for them, Kevin. Yes, we teach them that.
And I like the direction this is going, because no one can deny that there was some civilization before, like for example the Egyptians or the Mayan, Inca, and the
Last
one
10
I
seconds.
named in America. And there's some megalithic structures that exist from ancient civilization, which we know nothing about, and we try to extrapolate, and
we're gonna move
created.
I'm so sorry.
What is it?
I'm so sorry to cut you off, but yeah, we do have more super chats coming in, and unfortunately, not that it's not interesting, it's just that it does not have anything to do with the flat versus globe argument, which is what our audience is here for. So I do want to try to press us into that territory again. So my apologies. So Jordan Marston says, MC Toon, what's the latest update with the final experiment trip? So we can ask that right quick and then move into the next one.
All right, yeah. I fly out on the 9th. We get to Antarctica on the 14th. I'll be in Punta Arenas for a few days before. I'll be doing some live streams and things from Punta Arenas. We're in a regular hotel, and we have, you know, good access to Wi-Fi and things like that there. Hopefully it's good enough to do live streams. I've got a large list of experiments that I'm going to do. I'm assembling them on my website. If you just go to mc2.net/TFE, you can find the kind of the hub. And if you search, you can find, I haven't linked it on there yet, but you can find my in progress page on the experiments that I'm going to be doing, including globe predictions and flat earth predictions. I'll be polling flat earthers to either affirm or correct my flat earth predictions, and lacking a correction, I will take that as an affirmation of the flat earth predictions. Because to do an experiment, you need to have a falsifiable hypothesis, and then you need to somehow test that. And that's exactly what I'm doing for things like the magnetic field of the strength of the Earth, the magnetic field inclination, the vertical angle, the direction of sunset in Punta Arenas, star trails, things like that.
All right, that is time. Very good. Any thoughts on the other side there, Kevin, about some of what Mike's putting down?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna share my screen, okay, for the first time of the debate.
No, you're not allowed. No, I'm sorry. I felt it was Mike.
Share screen. Okay, I'm not used to do it, so I'm not sure how to do it.
So in the middle of our chat, if you're on a laptop, just hover over chat, the little
okay.
green thing.
Share. Okay,
Yeah,
so you
I get to
guys
have
see
fun
my
too.
screen now?
There we
You
go.
guys see my screen now?
Yes, we do. We can see a YouTube page.
Okay, so you see, this is the video I was talking about on July 24th, 2023. Okay, July 24th, 2023, we're going to Antarctica. Okay, I invite you to go see that video. I tell to McToon, Craig, McNeil, Prof. Dave, all the YouTubers that keep bragging about their money that they're making. Well, Craig does, and other people brag for Toon and and Prof. Dave. I tell them, yeah, you make money, sponsor me to go to Antarctica. I'm gonna cross it. I'm gonna have a snowmobile made especially for that. And I don't think I bring up that snowmobile in that video, but I had the idea afterwards. And a few months later, that guy Will Duffy pops out of nowhere. Oh, we're gonna go to Antarctica. Oh, what a great idea! What an original idea! And oh, lo and behold, Craig and Toon are implicated in that. Both of them. I invited them to sponsor me, because if you want one guy to go cross Antarctica by land, you want me, because I live in Montreal. I'm used to harsh weathers.
5 seconds.
And I'm top shape. I'm a bike messenger. I fight the winter. Every winter I bike through the winter. Yeah.
We'll go back to our main screen there.
With that said, I'm looking forward anyway to see the experiment. But I know in the bottom of my heart, I know this was my idea. Go look at the video, July 24th, 2023.
All right, so we ended the screen share there. Did you have any thoughts, Mike? Yeah, I'll have to go back into our super chats, but do you want to respond there, Mike?
Yeah, the unmitigated narcissism to think that he thinks that his experiment, his 55 view video was the reason why Will Duffy thought, hey, let's go to Antarctica. When Will Duffy put together, shush.
Just one second
when
there.
Will Duffy put together a long list of other flat earthers talking about Antarctica, going back 10 years, and you weren't on that list, they all predate you, Kevin. Get your little ego there, shrink it down a bit. You're not the one that gave Will the idea.
All right, that is last word there for your super chat.
Hey,
MC.
I'm
No,
older
it's
than
his last word. It's his last word. So before you respond, and like I say, we're not going to regurgitate it later. It's not going to going back to what I said. We're going to try to move on. Phoenix Rising says, yes, So Phoenix Rising, this is the speaker from earlier, says, yes, I am. I'll be running the world. Read your Bible. I did it for fun, not needed. That Mark dude wouldn't listen to me and hung up the call. Try to
Yeah,
pull us
Phoenix
back to
Rising
what's going on.
is
I'm so confused.
literally certifiably insane.
I don't know what's going on, but you know, it sounds like we're gonna have Mike. You know, I'll leave it up to you if you want to make your own video regarding this super chatter
He's
or
nuts.
your.
He's insane.
But we're gonna try to not make too much meta discussion on what's going on outside of that. Any thoughts on? Yeah, there's not too many thoughts there, Phoenix Rising. You're not giving us too much to latch on to. Lots of laugh faces. So yeah, Rent Rabbit says, explain how a flat Earth is created from an astronomical perspective. I will see SC $500 and convincingly scientifically accurate argument. If you make a convincing scientifically accurate argument.
The guy wants me to explain how the Earth was created.
Just send it right to me. I'm just gonna say that, Rent Rabbit. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Kevin.
Like, it's a big I don't know. No one knows. The Globers, they pretend that they know. They're gonna claim the Big Bang and the evolution, but they don't know shit. They have no clue. So me, because I have no clue, I'm saying I don't know.
All right. Any thoughts on the other side before we get into the next one?
100% made my point. If you can't make a falsifiable prediction, you are not participating in science and you do not have anything worthwhile. You're just embarrassing yourself.
Who came up with the Big Bang idea? Mike?
It's completely off topic. The fact that you can't even stick to the topic.
Just like Craig, eh?
Absolute
Just
proof.
like Craig, you can't answer. You don't even know who came up with your own model.
Lemaitre.
I could have been
Yeah,
having a big
Georges
bang,
Lemaitre.
but I'm here instead. All right.
If you knew,
Love you, wife.
it's
Good night.
Georges Lemaitre.
All right. Twilight Haze. Kevin, do you have scientific evidence that points to the Earth being flat? Is it true that the Flat Earth Society has members from around the globe? I've seen this a few times.
Yeah,
My
another
goodness.
beginner. That's because but first of all, the Flat Earth Society is control opposition. I'm not gonna get
Prove it.
into explaining what's
Prove it.
control. Well,
Prove
prove it. They have argument like the what causes gravity. It's the Earth constantly rising like an elevator.
Yeah, but prove that they're controlled opposition.
Well,
You're just parroting.
Prove.
You're just parroting every other flat earther ever.
I'm trying
They're
to
controlled opposition.
All right, hold on. You asked him not to interrupt you, MC, so let's just be fair. Go ahead there, Kevin.
Yeah, so they say stupid stuff like that, like the Earth is rising, but they say some things that genuine flat earther think, like water is always level, and you know the usual argument, like we can see too far, but then they're gonna come up with stupid stuff such as the Earth rises and other stupid stuff, so people look away. It's all about looking away. All that business that Toon is into, Toon, Craig, and Ozian talks, and all, I call them the YouTube barkers because they have YouTube channel, and their job is to make people look away. Oh, you don't have to look into that. Look, they are stupid. He admitted himself that his job was to humiliate people. So any
5
chances
seconds.
he got, when I didn't know I had a minute to talk and I was continuing, hey, why I was being interrupted? Oh, you're such a moron. You didn't know flat earther are such moron.
That
Hey,
is
dude,
done.
it's my first debate in 6 months. It's your job to debate. And I already apologized earlier in the debate that I don't know the formula very much. I didn't know I was not supposed to interrupt. I apologize. And you come back later again. You are such a moron. You didn't know you had a minute.
We are going to move on. I'm so sorry,
that's
Kevin.
your job.
I am cutting you off.
YouTube
I'm going to cut
barker
you
to
off.
keep-
All right, I'm putting you on me. Oh, I don't have to put you on you. That was good. Okay. We're just going to carry on. I'm so sorry, Kevin. We got more.
I wasn't done.
Well, we ran out on our timer. Like I said, you did request that we do 1 minute back and forths. And we.
I did.
Earlier, yes. So we have been sticking to that as close as we can, except for when you wanted to discuss Coriolis. So let's ask the last question, which is a Jordan Marston, which is another Canadian super chat. Yeah, that's right. Canadians in the house. We're taking over modern day debate. All right, that's awesome. He says, "You're the man, MC Tune, #Globe." So just a super chat that is a super fan for discussion night. The last one I did not read earlier, Potato Man. You've been doing your best. Every single time Potato Man puts in a super chat, he's trying to clean it up just a little bit. It's just, this might be the best one. All right, MC Tune, why do you humiliate not all their people? I don't know. Maybe I think he needs to put in like another $20 super chat and just clean it up a little more. What do you say, Potato Man? No, go ahead there, Mike.
Well, it's if they were, you know, to just sit there and think that the Earth was flat and not say things, you know, publicly, and not try to proselytize their religion of flat Earth. Hey, I wouldn't be able to have any response to them because I wouldn't have heard anything from them. But since the flat earthers, who are literally not smart enough to understand elementary school geometry, go out there and try to trick people into joining their cult, then I'm going to stand against that. I stand against misinformation, and I'm happy to use the incredibly ridiculous looking, or the words that Potato Guy has been using, use them to showcase how incredibly bad flat Earth is and how much of a bad idea it is. That's exactly it. That's what I do. I enjoy doing it.
All right, you wrapped up in good time. 1 minute if you want to respond on the other side, Kevin.
You think
This is
that
all meta, but that's what we're doing tonight.
humiliating people that think differently, not only you should, but you must. And more than that, it must become your job and your hobby and your life to humiliate people. Why is it so important? It comes back with the question that the guy asked earlier. And you admitted that your goal is to humiliate us online.
Yeah.
Like, why the flat earthers? Why did you choose us? We're not hurting anyone. We're not hurting anyone. We're just trying to wake up people like the globe is nonsense. Okay, you think you want to believe in the globe? The globe, fine. Why do you make a crusade out of this and make your life your life has become a crusade against us?
All right, that's time. I think you want a free trip to. That's all you want. You want a free trip to Antarctica. Is that what's up?
Yeah.
Just joking. But yeah, if you want to respond to what Kevin said.
Well, it was more than a trip. It was like
I call out mission, a journey. I confront misinformation, and why the misinformation that I confront? Why is that the misinformation that I confront? There's any number of different misinformations that I could address. I also like to address the people that lie about 5G, but I tend to find I really enjoy and have a good enough background in the flat Earth stuff to address them. So that's why
you understand that the average IQ of your fan base is very low, right? I've been
wow, you're insulting my entire fan base.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure my entire fan base is happy to hear that you, being such a smart person with such a high IQ, think that they are low IQ.
I'm sure they're gonna tell me all kinds of insults. It's all what they're good at, insults. They have nothing. They have low IQ. I've been interacting with Globers in flat Earth groups on Facebook since 2016, since the very beginning. I was a flat earther, and I didn't expect what I found. I went in flat Earth groups, to share information, and I found that all the groups were not only infected by Globers and were in majority composed of Glober, but run by Globers. Most of the admin of most of the group are all Globers who censor, delete comment, mute us flat earther, boot us,
Well,
TOS and
before we move to the next question, because we are at time, I want to be fair that that's not happening here on Modern Day Debate. But we do have. I know that I'm saying that as I am cutting you off, but we do allow a space for people to make those arguments here at Modern Day Debate, and we do want people to know what's on the table. That being said, we have a lot of super chats, and we do want to, like I say, try to focus on the debate as much as possible. I know we've been doing a lot of meta discussion, and that's, like I say, sometimes okay to a degree, but we want to try to get into the meat, and we were for a while there, so I want to try to return to that for the last couple of super chats. We do have our poll up and strong. We have 336 votes. So I do want to say that if you are, whether you're low IQ, high IQ, if you're hanging out, at MC Tunes channel, you're hanging out watching Kevin, head on over to the Modern Day Debate page, give us a like, and also participate in our poll. Right now, who did you find the most compelling this evening? 74% say MC Tune, and 26% have voted for Kevin. And let us carry in to the next question. So that's just a representation of who's in our audience right now, just for the fun of it. Phoenix Rising says again, another super chat says, God's piss, we turned the womb into a graveyard. Well, I'm starting to wonder what's going on here, Phoenix Rising. This is a very strange thing to say. I think he's just... Are you trying to get me just to say weird stuff? I mean... You could just,
he's
just say
he's
that.
literally mentally handicapped. He's mentally, like, certifiably should be in an asylum.
Okay. All right. McKellen says, hi, MC Tune from Thailand.
Who said that?
That's Magellan?
Magellan. Oh.
Magellan?
I just want to ask a question.
I love Lloyd's brother.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I know a few people from Thailand, but I've never been. Well, thank you so much for the fan super chat. You said you have a question. We are running low on time, so if it's right quick, we might be able to entertain it. If
you said that individual belongs in the mental asylum.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know who you were talking about, but you were
Phoenix Rising 86.
Okay. Again. Okay.
Oh my.
You were making fun of him because of his mental issue. That's it.
He's certifiably insane.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna carry on.
Insane.
We're gonna carry on. There's too much being said here. Like you guys got too much here. Jordan Marston says, Kevin, can you explain the star trails? So thank you, Jordan. Jordan, thank you so much. Pulling us back in. We like the fan super chats. We enjoy God's piss, apparently. I don't know. Like, what's going on, Phoenix? I don't get it. Okay, apparently we have that, but Jordan Marston's gonna wheel us back in. Thank you so much. Kevin, can you explain the star trails rotation in the southern and northern hemisphere on your flat Earth model? Keep those super chats coming in, everybody. We really appreciate it.
We went through this before. Just rewind, and we went through this. This question was already asked in the debate. So I'm not gonna be like tune and repeat, go and repeat mode. Yeah.
All right. Did you want to respond there, MC Tune? And I do apologize if we are doing a repetition here, but
yeah. Oh yeah. It's you're away when I showed it, but Flat Earth requires that the stars move horizontally when you look south, but we don't see that, so it falsifies Flat Earth.
All right. Any final thoughts over there, Kevin? Before we carry on.
Well, there's another thing I thought about the stars. Like, I'm not saying I think that, but someone brought up, like, it depends of the direction you're looking at. Like, if I'm here in the northern hemisphere and I look this way, and the stars they go this way. If I simply turn around, the stars are gonna rotate on the other side. But it's not my idea, but someone brought it up, and I thought, yeah, actually it makes sense. You just turn around and the stars are going in the other direction anyway.
All right. What do you got going on there, Mike? Did you want to respond?
I've got the flat Earth dome that flat earthers claim, showing that the actual prediction is that you would see them moving horizontally. If you look right here, you'll see that things move horizontally. This is what they say the dome does every day. And we see horizontal stars, not the center. This is the north. You'd see stars rotating around the center of rotation in the North Pole in the sky. But horizontally, you see that the south, looking south, you'd see horizontal, not circles.
Yeah, just to make it clear, I'm not sure about the dome, like a solid dome. Like it makes sense, but the way I look at the sky, what I see, I'm not sure. What they say, the dome would rotate and the stars would be on the dome and the stars and sun inside the dome, and there would be a solid dome. I'm not 100% convinced,
I have to
but the
go to the bathroom
stars
quick.
do rotate over us. At least that's what we see.
No worries. All right, so we have a couple more super chats coming in. Mike just stepped out to use the restroom. Did you want to check out for just 1 second there, Kevin? And I'll do a little housekeeping. You can get yourself a drink or grab yourself, like I say, the restroom, and I'll carry on with a little bit of housekeeping if that sounds good for you. Or you can hang out.
I'm gonna hang out.
No worries. All right. Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into Modern Day Debate. We appreciate you hanging out in the live chat and having your back and forth there. Yeah, like I said, we do know that it's been a little bit of a different tone and a little bit of a different approach, but no worries. We've done what we can to make the most out of it. And we do appreciate the super chats, bringing out a little bit more discussion than maybe we got in our open discussion. There was definitely a little bit. I'll say both speakers were a little bit targeting each other throughout the open discussion. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. If you want to work a super chat in so that we can get into the meat of the discussion more, we are going to entertain more super chats until our speakers let me know that they are ready to cap out, because I am ready to roll. I'm ready to let the debate just carry on. So as long as you guys have the means to keep pushing it, or our debaters get into something really juicy they just can't get out of it, I'm gonna let this keep playing out until we wrap up. So get your conversation, your points in there, get your super chats in, everybody. We do appreciate it. Mike is rejoining us for some more fun. There is, like I say, there's a lot more that we could probably get into. I know there's a lot more that we generally unpack in one of these discussions, and I told our audience, Mike, that I'm ready to just carry on. I told your audience that too, I guess, because they're probably listening as well. I should have said while you were gone, Mike, I should have encouraged your audience to leave your channel and come to Modern Day Debate. We need your numbers. Come on, honestly. Now Mike's gonna see a boost. Oh my God, no, don't go. Stop leaving. No, come back. All right. They know you're streaming now. Anyway, I'm kidding. All right. Thank you guys for your super chats. It's been interesting for sure. James Zog says, the flat earthers should bring back the guy who just shouts and calls everybody the hard R word. Best argument for flat earth I've ever heard. I'm not sure who that is. Is he talking about that Zerk the Jerk guy? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
There's a few of them. But Oakley's never been on here, so it's not him.
Oh, sorry. I think that might be Oz's pet name for him. that might not actually be that person's name, but go ahead. I don't know.
That's all.
All right, Jordan.
Okay, can I say something?
Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's about at the beginning of the debate, Mike was asking me, "Oh yeah, can you show us that the floors in the buildings are flat?" Like, Mike knows what I do. I go from building to building. You can see again on my YouTube channel, I film panorama in every building just to see the flat horizon, okay? And you can see me talk to a construction worker, and I fucking own this is that small. It's on the tripod now, but this is that small. I put it in my bag. I just have to put it on the floor, put it on camera, and there you go. You have your flat floor. Okay, that's as simple as that. And he calls me lazy, Kevin. I can do that anywhere. I can do it here on the floor of my house. Okay, I have the tool, I have the floor, et voila. Okay, I already did it on the ice rink. Who's the lazy one is the one who claims that ice rinks are curving, but he's barking in front
5
of his
seconds.
computer, and he's never showed me, and he will never show me curved ice. He will never measure curved ice,
That's
natural.
time.
Okay, let me precise.
All right,
We
natural
are going to
curved
hand the
ice.
ball.
He
Sorry,
is-
Kevin. We're
he
going to
is,
hand the ball.
uh,
It's been a little, like I said, I give you the floor for a while there, so let's hand it over.
Yeah, he's not even bright enough to realize that
Yeah.
floors are mandatorily graded for drainage. Typically, they have a 1 to 2% grade, and a 1 to 2% grade would be is orders of magnitude larger than the amount of curve due to the curving surface of the Earth in a building. And you can't see a 1 to 2% grade with your own eyes because our eyes are not good measuring instruments for that type of
Okay.
stuff. So, and he's not even bright enough to realize that. You look up building codes in Canada, you're going to find that there have to be graded in order to drain.
But Toon, we went through this before. Maybe you didn't read my answer, but okay, you could be right. The floor could be could slope for drainage, so level the ceiling then. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, you understand what I'm saying, or you're not bright enough? What?
If
You
you
think you
can't
cannot
see with
measure
your
the
own
level of the
eyes,
ceiling?
Kevin, if you can't
You think
identify
it's
with
gonna
your own
slope?
eyes the 1
Hey,
to 2%
no,
grade of the
hey,
floor,
hey,
there's no
Toon.
way that your eyes are precise enough to measure whether or not 100
Oh
feet of
my
ceiling
God.
are flat or
That's
curved
why we
in
use
the
that's
1 millimeter.
That's why we use a level.
And what's the margin of error of that measurement?
Well, I knew he was gonna say that. He always say that. The
Yes,
margin of
because
error.
it's how adults do measurements,
Hey,
Kevin.
okay.
You're not an adult,
Look,
you're a child. You don't know
look,
how to do
man.
these things. This is over your head. You're not tall enough to ride
No,
the
it's
ride.
not over my head. You're fucked. Okay, you were right about the floor.
Jeez.
They can be sloping for drainage, not the ceiling. The ceiling is gonna be straight.
So show the
What's the margin of
measurements, Kevin.
error?
Show
Hey,
the measurements, Kevin.
take the
No
L.
measurements.
Take the
I
L.
will just ignore them and laugh at you.
Next
Yeah,
question
of
coming in
course
there,
I'm gonna
guys.
take the measurement. I got the
Next.
tool. I'm gonna come back with.
You're both on mute. That's for the sake of fairness. All right, so we have another question coming in. You guys are just kind of getting after each other, and that's fun. But like I say, I think we've reached the point where it's no longer fun. We want to try to get back into our conversation. Jay Donaki, did you read my $20 super chat? I'll go check there, Jay. We've got a couple other super chats, and I'll go scroll up and make sure that I got that. Jordan Marston says, P.S. Maritime Canadians have the highest IQ. I remember fixing a broken Atari when I was 7. Boy, wasn't I happy with myself. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. That's just an anecdote. But no, I've always had a real hankering for just a hands-on learning. But as for other people learn at different paces, and that's okay. There's nothing to do with maritimers, but we are the best, and we're smarter than all of you. We just pretend we're stupid. Keeps us safe. Okay.
Can you see the green line on the wall there? Can you see it?
We can see the line on the wall.
There?
Yes, I can.
Can you guys see it? It's level. So let's calculate at this height if it's level. Now your sloping floor due to drainage argument, it's dead. Do you understand? I said the ceiling, it could be a few feet over the floor. That's measurement, okay? And you can't refute that. That they use that tool to build buildings as straight as my house here, okay? It's not following some kind of any sort of curvature. That's your claim. So if you say that all the buildings around the world follow some kind of curvature, which you claim, take whatever device and find me some measurement of curved floor or curved buildings. Okay, let's not say the floor because we can get confused with the slope for the drainage, which is possible, which happens, which does happen. Okay, let's measure it a few feet. Okay, let's level it from a few feet over the floor. Bang!
Ready?
But it's not gonna happen. Toon's
All
not
right,
gonna
here
go out
we
and
go.
take some
You ready,
measurement.
Ryan?
All right, just before you answer, I'm just going to let both of these super chatters know. Jay, I don't see your super chat, and neither do I see yours, Magellan. So put it in the live chat right now while MC Toon does his response, and I'm going to highlight them. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so Kevin agreed that he's not capable of identifying a 1 or 2% slope, and yet he thinks that he's able to identify the curve of the Earth in a building. Anyway, brought no measurements. So once again, I'll read this. The burden of proof is a primary rule of any argument or debate. It first requires the affirmative to bear the burden of proving the proposition. Subsequently, it requires every speaker to support every assertion made by that speaker, because any assertion must be supported by proofs. Quote, those who assert must prove, unquote, is a fundamental and long-standing rule of every debate. Kevin has not once attempted to bring any evidence supporting his claim. He only has assertions and interruptions.
I went to take measurements. It was flat. Okay. You claim that it's curved and you don't bring any measurement. You just claim it. It's curved. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. That's your only argument.
Failure.
It's a trust me, bro.
To bring any measurements. You didn't bring any measurements,
hey,
Kevin.
You
not one measurement.
Okay, you want me to share my screen? I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna go on my YouTube channel and we're gonna see my experiment. Okay, which I went to take some measurement. Okay, where are YouTube here? My video.
We can see that now, yeah. Let's try to keep it to around under a minute if you're going to do a screen share. I don't want to...
I'll just remember, everybody, the predicted globe bulge in the middle is less than 1/10 of a millimeter for an ice rink.
You're missing the point, Mike. You're missing the point. I went to measure. It was flat. You claim that it's curved. Go measure curve.
Oh my gosh,
look,
you're so
it's
dumb.
here. I went to measure.
You just don't even understand this at all. This is so far over your head.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, you see the video, okay? You see the video, but just a second.
I got your
chat, You see the video, but it's not just a 3-minute video. I went there. I went several times to each arena. I went to several arena several times each because I had to find a slot where I could go measure. You see, it always stays at 5 centimeters. Oh, it's not precise enough. It stays. It's very conclusive.
It's not precise enough, Kevin.
Hey, quit interrupting, you fucking moron. Okay, look. Okay, it's at 5 centimeters.
Fair's fair. Hold on. Fair's fair, Mike.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's just ironic.
Okay, yeah. It is ironic. You say I don't have measurement, which we are looking at right now, and you put out your book and
your
say
measurement device is not precise enough.
You come to debate, okay?
I don't have enough beer for this. My God.
You come to debate with a slingshot to a gunfight. You have a slingshot to a gunfight. I kill you right there. Yeah. Laugh nervously when you have nothing to say.
So far over your head, Kevin.
Hey,
you don't even understand how bad this is.
We can all see that it is conclusive. I've been challenged to go do science. I did. You say, no, they're curved. Okay, show me measurement of curved natural ice. Okay, because this is not natural ice, but I'm going to do it on natural ice this winter. And now I have experiment, like I said before. Okay, I gain experiment. I know that it's the way to do it. I have a better level now. Okay, with a tripod, so I can do it. I can measure it better and longer because this one goes farther. So where are your measurements? Because this is one video of 3 minutes. I have other videos on my YouTube and chat with the people and chat with the construction workers. And you say, oh, you have no measurement. No. You're the one with no measurement. You're the one with the book saying, oh, you come to debate for no. Hey, no. I'm eating you alive. Look, I'm going even farther. And you said, oh, the ruler, you see, it's not moving on the ruler. Even if there was no number, you just put a dot, you can see that the ice is flat and level. It's measured scientifically. You are the one with no measurement. You are the one who are being buried alive. And that's why you are so pissed off at me that you resort to post my work info out of the blue so people get me fired. That's what you resort to, because you can't do science. You can't do it. You're not gonna counter my experiment here just by saying no. It's not countering anything. It's on YouTube for everyone to see, and it's just the beginning, because I have a better level now, and I live up north with all kinds of lakes. I'm gonna do better measurement very soon. Winter's coming, and it's gonna come very soon.
All
So
right, let's end the
I'm
screen
not.
share
I
there.
don't understand why you keep saying that I don't do science. I don't have measurement. You're the one with no measurement.
All right, I've ended the
All
screen
right.
share there. Did you want to respond before we carry on?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I previously provided a measurement over half a mile of water. He didn't even address it. But again, and this, I mean, it can't be stressed enough that he doesn't understand how to do precise measurements. That the globe predicts across the entire length of that ice rink, if it were perfectly level, that it would be 0.07 millimeters. And that instrument that he's using has no way to identify even a 1 millimeter variation. So it's way, way too imprecise to find anything. And he doesn't get it. And this is the whole thing about flat earthers. This is hilarious that he doesn't get, and I've drilled it over and over and over again. That wasn't a precise enough measurement, and he can't comprehend that it wasn't a precise enough measurement, and he'll double down on it again. It's a ridiculous look for him, but do please go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, okay. Would you say that according to the measurement, we could say that that portion of the ice which I measured was flat? You can say
Not
that.
within the margin of error necessary for the globe.
Okay.
Nope, not
so
one bit.
it was not conclusive. It was not flat.
Absolutely
even though
inconclusive.
it's been
Yep.
surfaced by a Zamboni that was made to make it flat. And it measured flat. It's observable flat. We skate on it flat. Everything flat. We show it flat, 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 flat with a level flat. But it's not, because
Not because because it's not a good measurement.
We're not using
Where
the
are
timer
your
anyways, it's
measurement
fine.
of curved ice? Where are your, because I claim, I point out the fact that all buildings are straight because they've been measured with a level, and they're all been built with the help of the level, so that makes them straight. And you say, no, they're all conform to the curvature of the earth. Well, this is your claim. Bring me measurement of curved floor in the buildings and in the structure, in the mile-long structure which they exist, because this is your claim. You claim that they follow some sort of curvature. You claim that the ice is curving even though we see it flat and it measures flat. I don't understand why you think you're humiliating me right now. And then he's on his Google trying to find an exit of that, but you won't. You have to go out and take measurement. Go out and take measurement. Give up, man, Google, and I'm gonna find something to shut him up. You can't shut me up. I have experiment, and I'm gonna do more in the future. What are your plans?
All right, Mike is
All
sharing
right,
screen.
my turn. All right.
Go ahead.
He asked for measurements. I will provide. He won't address these like he won't address
It's
other
a
ones.
rerun.
This
It's
is
the same
this is a
thing.
different
All right,
one.
we let you have your chance there, Kevin. We're gonna.
This is a different one by the same guy, Jesse Kozlowski. But this is a longer one. And he left. All right, well, tell you what. Thank you, Ryan.
Oh well, you're welcome.
I guess we're done.
Your thank you. It was a lovely thank you. I feel the love there, brother.
Oh, it was a rerun. I went to refill my glass of
No,
water.
it's okay.
In conclusion, I provide measurements that are precise enough to test whether or not the Earth is a globe. It confirms the Earth is a globe. Oh my God.
All right.
Earlier,
Thank you,
when
Ryan.
we presented
Wrap it
that,
up. Wrap it up, Ryan.
All right. Are you running low on
Wrap
time
it.
there, MC?
I'm running low on being interrupted by Kevin every single time that I talk.
Okay. So, Kevin, what we're going to do, if Mike is open to it, is Mike is going to share his screen. He's going to present his case there, and respond to our super chatter here, and then we'll give you the floor to respond. But I am going to place you on mute while Mike does so. So, Mike, if you would kindly share your screen again, and we're going to try to reset here. Like I say, if you're not in a hurry, I don't want to just.
All right. I'm good. I'm good, but the interruptions are done.
All right. So
I'm done with that.
He is on mute. So go ahead there,
so
Mike. We'll do the same for you as well, Kevin.
Yeah. He asked for measurements. Once again, here's measurements. And the fact that it's the same measurement as before doesn't make it bad. It makes it good because he can't address it. Similar to the previous one, but this is a longer stretch across that lake there. Similar to the other one, he measured a spike 60 millimeters up from the surface of the water. And then he set a level there so that he was at the same height at the other end of that spike. Anyway, to keep it quick here, he set the level, or sorry, the target and the theodolite at the same elevation. And then he measured the vertical angle of the target across the lake. Very precise. This is, once again, has enough margin and enough precision to test whether or not the Earth is a globe. And here it is, over 1.38 miles. There was a drop of 1.28 feet, matching the 8 inches per mile squared, the famous formula that all flat earthers like to talk about. So this 100% confirms again that the surface of the water is curved, and it doesn't need to be my measurement. Any measurement is a valid measurement, regardless of who does it. And so it's somehow demanding that I be the only one that do it is ridiculous. It just is copium.
Okay.
Go ahead there,
The
Kevin.
thing is, I saw a lot of measurement on the internet made like that prove flat Earth. Okay. And now you show me a measurement that apparently proved globe Earth. So it's very relevant. Is it you that took the measurement? No, it's not. So you shouldn't believe in it. And you see, guys, that I wasn't kidding when I was talking about the reruns. It's the same screen sharing at every debate. Same measurement that he didn't take himself. It's just image, okay? A couple of image with numbers. We don't know if it's valid, okay? You know what? I have a bet going on with my real life friend, okay? Yeah, I think he was right high at some point because it was 3 in the morning and he started texted me and he bet 10,000. He said, "Oh, I don't give a fuck, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 if you want." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna shut your big mouth up. I'm up for 10,000." So I got a bet going on. One of my friend has a boat, okay?
All right, Kevin.
This summer is
sorry.
boat. Please,
let's
let me elaborate. Okay?
Well, no, I don't want to let you elaborate. We are running low on time, like I said.
This is stupid.
If we're talking about somebody who's doing a bet with you.
It's stupid. It's the same experiment that you showed me.
This is meta.
But I'm going to do it myself with someone
I don't care.
in the boat. No,
I don't care. My gosh, Kevin, grow up.
Yeah, the person in the boat is going to have a GPS, so I can prove, like, I'm going to have in real time, he's at this position. I'm here. I can see him.
Ryan,
no curvature.
I know you go on. Are you cashing out?
You gotta take control, Ryan. Be a moderator.
Well, I was gonna say I've done that many times, and like I say, if you
just rambles, don't give a damn.
Like I say,
I just ramble. I explain my experiment that I'm gonna do. It's not rambling. It's explaining my experiment.
Okay, just 1 second. All right.
Tell you what, Ryan, I'm gonna play a song on my side. I'm gonna.
Oh, just a second. I'm gonna mute him.
No. Hold on. No. I'll put you both. I'll put you both on mute if that's the case. I'm not gonna accidentally get you guys playing a song that we shouldn't have on the stream. Mike, behave yourself. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. If you find somebody so disagreeable and so, like I say, if you find that they're putting stuff on the table that is just not compelling, well, then it's not going to speak well to their side. So. Like I say, if we do need to move through, if it's the case that you want to move through the chats, that's totally fine. I'm welcome to that. But what are you doing, Mike? What are you up to? All right, Mike's hanging out in his own space right now, guys. We gotta switch this around, though. Hold on. Mike, you're in the wrong spot. There you go, Mike. All right, Mike is cashed out for a few seconds, guys. That's okay. Mike, just take a few minutes to cool off, listen to a tune. Yeah, an MC tune, whatever you want to do. All right, so Kevin from Magellan, why does every single coordinate system for navigation rely on a spherical Earth? Well, you're on mute. Hold on a second. Now you're back. Hold on. Now, oh boy, jeez, boy. All right, go
I'm
ahead there,
not
Kevin.
familiar. I've never calculate where I was on Earth by coordinate, and I'm a courier, so I have to, go there, and I never know. Like I'm at the 24th parallel, and I've never calculate that like that, and I'm sure nobody did. So you asking me a question like no one can answer that question, and the person who asked that question knows that they ask questions that they know that they're not going to answer, so they say, ha ha, look, the flat earther can't answer that question. That makes the earth a globe spinning on itself, rotating around the sun, and the sun rotating against around the great attractor, and all this shooting from the Big Bang discovered by the priest Georges
5
Lemaître.
seconds.
All that, it's all true, because that flat earther at this particular moment could not answer this question. That's the strategy of
All
the
right, that is
question.
time. I'm so sorry, Mike, Kevin. We do have to move on. Mike, did you have anything to say before we carry on? And I am sorry if we are taking a little longer than what you were hoping for.
No, I'm not bothered by the time.
Okay.
I'm bothered by the rambling.
All right. Well, I am sorry if that is how it is all coming across on your side. But like I say, I am trying to make sure that things are fair. And if things are, like I say, if you find something not compelling, well, it's going to play out in the sphere of the public opinion. So.
Oh, no doubt.
So let's try to keep that in mind and carry into the next one. Jay Donarchy says, I send it on MC Tune. I didn't see your chat and then the live chat there, Jay Donarchy. So if it is over on Mike's channel, just put it into a regular chat into our conversation here. You should have just tagged it into that chat, honestly. We would have asked it. So just, like I say, just come over to our live chat for a second, put it in there, and we'll get it read. Magellan had another one here. I put it on our notepad that they had sent in earlier. Kevin, sorry, what's up?
I have Jay Donahue here.
Okay, what was it that he wanted to ask? Because he put in some super chats here as well.
Yeah, he says Coriolis effect. Imagine Earth are sprockets like on a bicycle. The biggest sprocket is on the equator, and each incremental sprocket is smaller than the equator, and the smallest at the poles. There's many forces at play.
I hope that's the right one there, Jay. So go ahead there, Kevin, and if you want to respond.
Can you repeat the question?
If you don't mind, Mike.
Coriolis effect. Imagine Earth are sprockets like on a bicycle. You know, a 10-speed bike that has multiple sprockets of smaller and smaller diameter. The biggest sprocket is on the equator, and each incremental sprocket is smaller than the equator and the smallest are at the poles.
We're
There's
talking
many
about a flat
forces
Earth
at
or
play.
a round Earth, a global Earth?
We're talking about the Coriolis force, which of course is about the globe.
Okay. But that falls in another category. Like, I'm gonna concoct a question which is so complicated that he couldn't respond, and that's gonna be a case of ha ha. That means the Earth is a globe. And I want to finish to explain my experiment, that my bet with my friend, that I was interrupted for some reason and Mike went away. Okay, like, when we see with the P900 or 1000, like when we zoom in on the boats, we see bringing back the boats into view, but we don't know the distance of the boats on the video. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. My friend in the boat is gonna have his GPS, and he's gonna send me screenshot of where he is, and in real time, I'm gonna, when he's gonna leave, I'm gonna stay on him all the time. So, okay, I still see you, I still see you. And when he reaches like, okay, I'm at 5 kilometers. Okay, 5 kilometers. We're supposed to be to have a drop of 2 meters. I think it's that 5 kilometers, 2 meters, or 196. So keep going. Where are you now? I'm 10 kilometers away.
Nothing to
So
do with the
that's the
question.
bet. That's the bet of $10,000 I have with a real life friend, and that's good. Whether the result is flat or globe, I'm gonna post all the result, of course, on my channel YouTube with my 18 subscriber, and no one's gonna see that, and people's gonna keep saying that I just stay in my mom's basement and don't do any measurement, and I
All
come
right,
to
all right. We're
debates,
not picking on
and I
people in
come
their
to
mom's
debates with
basement.
no
It's a
measurement.
hard economic time. Let's not pick on people in their mom's basement. We are way over time. We have a couple more questions coming in, so I do want to ask from Slithery says, Kevin, do you see this? Did you see the Starship flight earlier today?
Nope.
Okay. Do you know
Today
what's
I
going
was
on?
working.
What's going on with this mic? Do you know what Slithery's
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. SpaceX sent up their 6th launch of Starship, a very large rocket, the largest rocket ever built. They 2 parts. There's the booster and the ship. The booster went up, brought the ship. They separated. It was not quite 100 kilometers high, and then it turned around and came back and landed. It was maybe going to land on land and be caught by the chopsticks, they call them, on a giant tower on land, but instead they landed on water. They're doing testing here. This isn't the final, but about a month ago, they successfully caught a rocket that was the size of a literal skyscraper on these chopsticks, which is just a structure built to catch it. So it was
They
it
actually
launched
called them.
today.
They call them chopsticks.
Yep, it's kind of their funny name for
It's
it.
funny, I didn't know
But
that.
but you know, it's these, they're giant, but they're these big sticks
I know what they
that
are, and
stick
I know
out, and
what
it
it is.
catches the rocket as it lands. Pretty cool.
All right, you got it. Seems like we got a natural stopping point there. So JSS Tiger says, Kevin, listen, your machine can't measure precisely to make a conclusive statement on flat or not. Holy crap!
My machine, I assume he means my level. Well, it's a level that the professional use to build buildings. So they do a pretty good job. So you in your mother's basement, you claim that they're not doing a good job, but the buildings that are built all over the world say otherwise. And I said all over, not all around.
All right,
Yeah, that's it.
let's just grab into that next super chat there. I think we'll just carry on. Magellan says, Kevin, you are wrong. Coming out strong with that. They carry in to say, every single ship's navigator can answer where they are on the Earth. Now stop making excuses.
Yeah, I understand. When I said it, I understand that yes, yes, the navigator, they probably know their coordinate, but what I meant is like me and you, like Mr. Everybody, my mom, we don't go by coordinate, we go by street corner and street roads, and so I'm not familiar with coordinate, and I'm not sure that I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that the guy who asked the question is not familiar with coordinate as well, because nobody are. No, when I say nobody, I exclude the small portion of people that are aware of coordinate or care about coordinate.
All right, any thought on the other side there, Mike?
Yeah, this right here is a sextant. It's a bubble sextant. And with this, I can measure the angle to stars and determine where on the Earth I am to a high precision. And this is the type of thing that navigators can do all the time. But of course, you have to know the radius of the Earth in order to do it, the radius of the globe. And you have to do spherical trigonometry. So you cannot do celestial navigation with flat Earth. It is actually completely, totally impossible to do it. Once more, proving the Earth is a globe.
Hey, speaking of sextant, don't you have a challenge going on?
Yep.
Sextant challenge? Yeah.
I
And
do.
a guy responded. And
Yep.
what were your thoughts about this?
He got the wrong answer. So
Okay, you got the wrong answer. As simple as that. No more explanation.
yeah, well, the sextant challenge is it's a $10,000 challenge to determine the position given measurements taken by a sextant. And there's it's not about just doing it, it's about providing the method to do it, right? So the actual submission is you send the position and the method you used to get the position, so that we can verify that the position actually is output by that method. And then then you email that to me. I'll send you within 24 hours another set of measurements for you to once again apply your method to. And
5 seconds.
then anyway, the guy got the wrong position.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's because I was approached by a flat earther who
All right.
lives in the southern hemisphere, and he's very strong at math. And he told me, like, man, you live in the northern hemisphere, you can spot Polaris, so you can do a Michael Toon challenge for a sextant. And then he went through the instruction, and he said he made it very complicated. Like, it's very complicated. He made sure
10
that
seconds.
no one makes the challenge.
Last 15
And-
seconds,
Well,
if you can there, Mike. For
Yeah, that's a
we get-
clearly a lie, because I opened up the very same challenge to globe earthers and I had over 10 submissions in 24 hours, and they were all correct.
All right, we got another question coming in from James Zog. Thank you so much, James, for your super chat. Also, Magellan, JSS Tiger, Slithery, and Jay Donaghy. Who else do we have here? Let me scroll up. Phoenix Rising as well had a lot of super chats. Even though I think we determined that you might not be the most savory of sorts. I'm not sure. I've got no axe to grind against anybody here. I just go with the flow. Wrench a Rabbit, thank you so much. Twilight Haze had their input as well. We really appreciate that. And earlier in the chat, we had Monkey Cat Pepat, LJ, of course, an Icy Spin. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Bruce and Potato Man, you tried to clean it up every time. He tried to clean up. Mr. Shank coming in with the most interesting super chat that we've had in a while in this discussion. Just 1 second as I just wrap up our last super chat there, Kevin, about the reflection on the bottom of the plane. That's great. Tom BG, Shovelhead Steve. We appreciate everybody who put in a super chat tonight and participated in our live chat. Our last super chat so far. If you have a question, you get it in now, or we're going to close this out real soon. I appreciate everybody. Kevin, really quick before we ask that last question.
Yeah, I had another thing about the sextant. I saw a video with you. I'm pretty sure Mike knows where I'm going. So when you use a sextant, it's kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not familiar with that tool, or that instrument or whatever. It's by triangulation, the stars, and no, it's
Nope,
not.
there's no triangulation in celestial navigation. It's trilateration. There's no triangles.
But you need to have a right angle, right?
Nope, there is no triangle at all. When you do
that's
celestial
not what I
navigation.
said. That's not what I've said. I said a right angle.
Nope.
No right angle. Okay.
Nope.
All right, let's.
That answers my question.
Let's ask that last question, and before I get into it, I do want to ask MC. Where we're going to be having this pre-discussion, are you open to being a part of the panel so long as nobody says anything incriminating and crazy? As long as they don't do that, are you willing to participate in that? I know you know who you are in our live chat.
You want me to be on with Hakeem again after he made those accusations against me and hasn't apologized?
Hakeem, well, if you want to maybe extend, a little nicety, maybe that would go a long way into making this conversation happen.
I think he could. I think he definitely could do a video on his channel with his face on screen, retracting his statement and apologizing. I think that would be a fantastic thing for somebody to do.
Well, I'm just
Are you
asking.
gonna apologize you at some point for posting my work info in the public group where people want me dead? Are you gonna apologize? Are you gonna recognize that what you did was wrong?
No, Kevin,
No?
it's still
it was
sitting on
all
your
right.
public Facebook page.
Yeah, it's public. So the correct thing to do is to take the information, post it in a group where people are already trying to
gosh,
get
Kevin,
me
all
fired.
they need to do is
the process
literally,
was
Kevin,
already big.
one click
started.
on your name,
Right.
and
So-
they would be in the same place.
So long
Kevin.
long format,
Gosh.
because I don't think that's going to happen between now and then. You would not be willing to participate on that panel. Sans that, like I said, if
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
okay.
he's got to. I don't know why you'd let him on your channel.
Yeah, you're
anymore
such a
after-
good person,
after that.
Mike. You're a good person.
Quiet, Kevin. Shh. The adults are talking.
All right. Well, either way, I just want to I wanted to run it by you just because there is interest, I'm sure, and I imagine that you have your fair share of interest where you are participating in this. This travel experiment, or whatever people want to call it, that's fine. But it is referred to as the final experiment. I'm looking for people to participate in a pre-debate on, is the final experiment a hoax, yes or no, and then a debate after with those same individuals. I want to have the same people debate afterwards. Whether it is a hoax or not after. So that's what I'm looking for. So I do want people that are going to be on their best behavior so we can make sure that it can happen recoursing again and again after it happens. So James Zog says, Kevin, genuine question for a thought experiment. If you could assume the world was in fact a globe, and if it was as large as the globe proposes, can you measure a distance and precise enough to disprove the globe model?
Well, yeah, that's what I want to do with my friend. The experiment I want to do with the boat. Like if with the chart, my real life friend didn't agree with the 8 inches by mile square. So he brought to me another formula which I heard of, and which I heard was correct. It's advantage of the flat earthers. Like I had at 10 kilometers, I had a drop of 196, and he brings me 5 kilometers. He has 2 meters. So it's not a big difference. It's 4 centimeters, but in my favor. So I say, okay, he wanted to look more intelligent. Like, oh, your 8 inches by mile square doesn't work. Here's the real formula. And there's 4 centimeters in my favor. So yeah, okay. So that's how we can prove it. Like on water, it's the best because there's nothing obstructing, like, and it's going to be perfectly flat.
I want to
like
I'm so sorry to cut you off, but just because it's gotten so late, and I know that there's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of similar questions as well, and we do appreciate our super chatters. We did get to the end of that minute there. I do want to ask this last question from Isa, so we can let both of you go, and hopefully you can get some rest. I know it's getting late for you there over in Montreal as well, Kevin. Yeah, it's 12:30 over here in Nova Scotia, so I'm a tired bean as well, to a certain degree, but that doesn't mean I'm in any hurry for sure. But I do want to ask this question from Isa. Isa, how you been doing, buddy? I miss ya. Like I say, send me a text anytime. I really appreciate your insights on the debates that we have here. So Isa asks, both, give your one best argument for your position. So there's been a lot of questions for you, Kevin, so I'm going to give Mike the floor first. 30 seconds. The best argument for your position. 30 seconds.
Or well, I would go to the measurement of the surface of water being curved. It goes straight to the claims that flat earthers have, and no flat earthers has ever meaningfully attempted to address it.
All right, that was a little bit less. Thank you so much. So yeah, 30 seconds. Your best argument for flat Earth.
It's funny because it's the same thing. The physics of water lies flat, and there's a thing that we don't talk enough. It's the tilt of the building, the supposed tilt. when in the distance, if it's on a globe, we would supposed to detect a tilt, but we don't, because they say, oh, it's too small. Just like we don't feel the spin, we don't see the curve. Yeah, it's there. The tilt is there. The curve is there. The spin is there, but we don't feel, we don't see, we can't measure, and it's all science.
All right. Well, we'll do our closing statements. Thank you so much to our speakers. Thank you for sticking it out. I know we've had a little bit of a different ride here on Modern Day Debate, but we also appreciate our live chat, hanging out. We've been hanging out with just over 400 people, majoritively over in the live chat, but also more people have voted in the poll. So 476 votes, 72% for MC Toon, 28% for Kevin on this evening. So that is our flat versus globe argument. I'm going to end the poll there, and you're welcome, Issa. Always appreciate you participating in our chats here, and everybody else as well at Modern Day Debate. We're going to go into closing statements. So 1 minute on the floor. Over to you, Mike. 1 minute to close out your thoughts on our discussion tonight and where everybody can find you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. You can find me MC Toon Live, where I do live debates like this one, and Conspiracy Tunes with a Z is where I do pre-recorded videos. I will be going to Antarctica, so be looking for the results of that. As nobody's surprised, I brought lots of measurements that were precise enough to determine the shape of the Earth. Kevin had one measurement that was not precise enough to determine anything at all, completely inconclusive. He absolutely refused to address any of the evidence I brought, instead just saying it was the same as before. The reason why I brought it up now and brought it up before is because it's kryptonite to flat earthers. They cannot touch it. So anyway, thank you, Kevin, for demonstrating all of the things that I hope to have flat earthers demonstrate in live debates. You did it absolutely without flaw. And thank you, Ryan and James, for hosting.
Ryan and James. Yeah, well, James actually organizes probably about 90% of the debates, and I host about 90% of them. So it's quite a team here at Modern Day Debate. We actually celebrated our 200,000 subscriber live stream the other night, where other than one other place on YouTube, it was the first time me and James have been on screen at the same time. So if you haven't seen that and seen the announcement for our debate con coming up, definitely check it out. If you're a debater and you want to participate in the debate con, also send us a message. We're going to be in the Newark area. So yeah, Mike, yeah, if that's something you're interested in and you know somebody that's
when is
around, it's going to be in February. So it's going to be well after you get back from Antarctica. Hopefully you'll be well rested.
In New Jersey?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, have a check out. Yeah, definitely have a look. I don't know if you'll also be able to make your way that way, but definitely have a look. Make sure that if you are in the area that yeah, if you can make it, we'd like to see you. I'm going to be out that way. Oh, let's see. I'm in the Newark area. I think that was Issa that just messaged me. Yeah, it was. Yeah, awesome. Well, let's let's wrap it up there. It's great to hear from you. I'll send you a message after the debate, Issa. So thank you to both of our speakers. Once again, this is Modern Day Debate. We are a neutral debate space hosting debates on science, politics, religion. We hope everybody feels welcome. If you haven't already, definitely hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. We are up. We're past 200,000 subscribers. We are looking to get to that 250,000. So yeah, definitely hit the subscribe. We hope to see you there when we celebrate that as well.
Can I say one more thing? One more thing.
As long
Just
as
a
it's
message.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Craig McNeil, aka FTFE. Unblock me. I miss you. I miss fucking with you on Facebook.
He's sending you.
You're my
yeah.
favorite internet toy.
Oh, well, there you go, Craig. Well, look at that. FTFE. Yeah, he's sending you love tonight. He wants to hang out with you. But honestly, like I say, we're gonna be seeing Craig soon here on Modern Day Debates, so keep an eye out on that. Like I say, I want to get a debate put together before these fellas leave in December. Whether Mike is participating or not, that'll remain to be seen. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot there, Mike. I like having fun too. So yeah, we'll see you next time, and cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Time, all of my life, living in a world of aggression, tyranny's mixed with self-oppression. What am I to do but tear away when I'm boiling at the top? Try to find a way to fight the fire, smart to rap from the minds of liars, call the shots as you bow your heads, and the march never stops. The stars could be free, but this insanity bends you right by the knee. Running in circles now for something that can't be found. And I bet as you hit the wall, the rain starts to fall. You can run away, sing a tune that's true. I'll be beside you. To decay from tears of blood, regrets of laughter. Turn around as your heart beat faster. Your hollow shape as the faith begins to drop. Shelter can find your thoughts of suicide. It's hanging down by the fray. Running in circles now for something that can't be found, and there's no time for today. You prayed away, the world would be untrue. I will rise against you. We've
in circles now for something that can't be found. Out of breath, smashed the wall, the water consumed all. You prayed away that the world would be untrue as it rose against you. Did you think you would